All right, all right, all right. What's up, folks? We alive, we alive. Let's talk about this case, man. So now the parents are coming out and speaking, being very vocal. Now, before I came across this video that I'm gonna play of the father of the victim, this is Jeff Austin, and this dude went off. And I can't say that I'm mad at the father. I'm not mad at the father at all. Not at all. I think he had every right, everything he spoke. He exposed a lot of shit. He exposed a lot of the misinformation, a lot of the false stuff that had been stated about him, and a lot of shit that Charleston White had been put out here, that has been putting out here as it relates to the case, because he was stating that he talked to the family, had been to the thing. But I was listening to so before I came across the victim's dad video, I was hearing the interview. But even for the interview they did on the Breakfast Club, I'm listening to them starting to place blame. So there's an issue with accountability, it seems like, and this is where I think becomes a factor with the son is accountability and being the victim. Everyone else is wrong and this and that shit. And now I'm gonna go in the comments. He says Jeff Line Red says don't believe. Nah, I'm not playing the black and white shit because a lot of us get too caught up in the black and white shit, and then we go on who telling the truth. We know our people be lying like a motherfucker. Information is information, bro, and that's just simply what it is. But I'm in here listening to them make it into this black and white shit. But after this case in and them starting to blame their attorney, I was like, that is some wild shit. And they go public with accusing the attorney of this shit. It was like, man, that's just almost, they almost seem they're not as colorful and loud and vocal as what's the nigga? That nigga real name Songbird, the motherfucker trade. No, what's that fool? The fool who shot the Megan Thee Stallion chick. What's that fool? Tory Lanez. Like how that father come out. It's on Jay-Z, it's on Rock Nation, it's on the judge. Like they do a press conference, all that shit fall in the case and this and that's almost what this shit reminds me of. It's like at some point you have to not accept the fact that your son gonna be going away for that damn long, but to realize the totality of every fucking thing, homie. The totality of everything. Homie took a life. And not once did homie say, oh, they threatened me. Oh, they whooped my ass. They were punching on me. Not once was any of that shit stated in his defense. It ain't that goddamn defense attorney's fucking fault. Your boy ain't give this nigga nothing to work with. Like, these motherfuckers is crazy. Like, how the hell you blaming? Y'all paid the fucking lawyer. Nigga ain't got no much to work on. They got these fucking 20 witnesses coming out talking about this kid up there inviting for these dudes to touch him, but inviting them so you can stab them. Like, you ain't got much shit to work on from that shit. Like, see what the fight turned out like. You ain't got shit to work with, but to go and then now flip this shit to the damn attorney not doing their job. Your son raised that coming into play in this shit. Like, man, cut that shit out. That shit ain't about to work in no fucking court. You can tell the people that shit all you want and rile black folks up, and black folks come to your support only to find out that they ain't about to win shit based on trying to rile the people up. Like, homie, the nigga took a life, but the laws will protect you. I don't give a fuck what some niggas sit here and cry about black pen in America and all this other weak ass shit. Fuck all that crybaby shit, homie. The law is the law. You react within that motherfucker. Anthony ain't the only motherfucker in America going through that shit. Anthony ain't the only motherfucker in Texas going through that shit. It's just that people love to play with what's popular. And when it's popular, nowadays niggas can profit off of that shit. It is simple as that. The boy fucked up. He had many ways this shit could have turned out. He walks away on probation. He proves enough for his case that he had a right to do this shit, or you get found guilty. And then, like they said, that the system failed their kid. No, the system ain't failed that nigga. The system could have gave that nigga life. The system could have gave that nigga life in prison. Don't let the system, because now he in the hands of this fucking system. And they can listen to everything y'all get on social media talking and show you have no accountability, you have no remorse, and the accountability shit is you just owning up to the shit that you fucking did. It's simple as that. Do your fucking time right. Stop making this shit into some old stressful shit. And then this nigga of course he gonna get access to the internet. He got to hear his mother and father breaking down and all this other shit. Stay off these fucking cameras. Y'all in the wrong. There's victims out there who this nigga took the life of. Now, the other thing is the parents weren't there. So the parents can't give no account of what the fuck happened. And this goes back into the conversation we had on Friday or even any other time when we talk parenthood. And I'll talk about how I ain't set yet to where I'm cool with allowing my kids to go out there and doing shit without the parents being there to supervise this shit. Because of this various type shit, especially with boys. And it's almost getting that point with girls. You got to watch girls too. But when it comes to boys and you getting a call that either these motherfuckers is dead or these motherfuckers done fucked off their damn life, and now you need to get your goddamn coins together, go out there and get you a fucking loan because you're going to have to pay for a lawyer or take to social media and raise enough money for a GoFundMe to buy you a good ass attorney or what they deem as a good attorney to fight a case for their fucking freedom, because people turn the reins over to these young ass dudes who don't know how to handle the many things that come at them. And if a parent ain't there to just sit back and watch and be like, let me see how this kid handles this situation, because the world gonna throw many fucking curveballs at these kids. And a lot of times you need to be there to observe what the world around them is. And you have to pay attention to what these kids talk about and what they see, what's going on in their world, what's going on in other households. And now they faced with this shit. Okay, this is how you counter that shit. This kids come from, so many kids in your home are coming from this, the environments like this. This kid's acting out. You got many kids grouping up and joining this shit. These kids are here on the girls and motherfucking these dudes is trying to show out, and the testosterone shit is going on with young kids, and many things you don't see. You don't see testosterone. You don't see these internal changes in your motherfucking kids. And so many, and especially mothers, their eyes just gleam for their little boys. You don't recognize what the fuck this nigga may be, how he responds to any motherfucking challenge, or whether or not he can defend himself or willing to stand up, and you're not there. You can't say shit. So now he's left in the hands of the testimony of all these other motherfuckers. And that is my point. This case is a point of why I be like, man, I be wanting to watch my kids. Even I was talking to a homie the other day, the homie J.O., my homie from the Army, because his kid is now 17 and shit, getting ready to go to his senior year. And he was even speaking, because we was just speaking about like he be tripping, like now his kid takes their car, he goes out, he's out hanging out, partying and shit. And then I'd be like, damn, man, I know that shit gotta be hard. I was like, man, I know you done popped up on a party, sit around the corner or some shit. And that's exactly what the homie done. Like when niggas care for their kids, that's what the fuck you gonna do. When you give a fuck about your kids because you know what is out there, I don't give a fuck they chilling in Beverly Hills. Some niggas caught up in what niggas' money look like in a community they come from. These people got money. Ain't nothing going on around them. Fucking rich kids all on drugs. They act all fraternity act like and shit. Them rich motherfuckers ain't the toughest of motherfuckers, but giving them some damn drugs and beer in their system, they do some old riled up ass wild shit. The news may not highlight the fucking criminal cases them rich motherfuckers be going through, assaulting each other, murdering each other, covering up murders they commit in them motherfuckers. You got to watch these motherfuckers. You got to watch them. And you got to keep an eye on these motherfuckers. You don't know what the process and how kids deal with shit, how they deal with challenges. Old boy should have took his motherfucking head up fade with them two brothers, got the fuck away, moved on, went to his side of the motherfucking where his team at, laughed that shit away, and they wouldn't be going through this shit. But to jump on the Breakfast Club and do all this victim shit they talking about, want to talk about, then the father said some old disgusting ass shit he could have kept to himself. Talking about their son being a hero and saving somebody's life. That ain't some shit you should ever say. And I think that's why people were advising them to shut up on shit. But to speak about his acts of good faith, him working two jobs, don't speak nothing to character, don't have anything relevant to do with the fact he stabbed the nigga. To speak about saving somebody drowning life, like nigga, that's the wrong shit to say on that shit. And then you got victims' families out here, like you were tripping. And that father, the white dad, ended up going off like a motherfucker. He had every right to speak the shit he spoke because he's seeing what's going on. He's seeing that the damn Karmelo family then took to social media and major platforms, and then here acting like victims. Like, homie, because like I said, before I watched the dad of the damn dude who got killed speak, I had seen the Karmelo family, because earlier I had been hearing people talking about them, like showing clips, them blaming the lawyers. Then I come across the Breakfast Club interview, and I'm like, man, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, I understand them, they've been emotional, but not y'all doing about this shit wrong. And then this attorney did this, and they advised us against that. And man, they set us up. They set you up. Like, what the fuck you talking about? Then were you guys at the game? The lady asked. She said, no, I was supposed to go, but it was raining, so I didn't go, and I just stayed home. And she broke down, was like she wished she had went. So I watched that shit. And that unfortunate motherfucking thing, it ain't her fault. It ain't the mother fault at all. It's that boy fault. It's that boy fault. And he got to live with that shit. He got 35 years to think about that shit. Just can't, you and if you make that decision to stab a motherfucker, you got to live with it, be comfortable with it. Like, fuck that motherfucker life. And that's what you got to live with. Get your time and serve that shit. If you ready to take a life, you need to understand the fact that when you get presented in this court, in the system, that don't mean you leave yourself vulnerable, afraid to pull the trigger or go about if you're using the damn blade on somebody, to saying, I'm gonna be slow to react because I'm worried about how the court case is going. Bah, the other motherfucker got you. Like, fuck that. But let me go into this father's video. So this dude name is Jeff Metcalf, and how he goes in. So let me play this shit. Then I'll go in the comments.
Drew Anthony, Kayla, you're cowards. You wouldn't even show up for your son's sentencing or victim statement impact. You abandoned your kid. You left him there. I guess he's no more use to you because you can't get any more GoFundMe money or GoSendGo money. You are grifters. You should be ashamed of yourself. You raised that child. And I swear to God, CPS to come check on those other three that you still have. You never once admitted or took accountability. You tried to play victim. The real victim is the one who died, not the one who shoved a knife in his chest. I come to pray with you, and
hey, he got a real point on that shit. He got a major point on that shit. Because that is who the damn victim was. The kid who got his ass killed. That's a major fucking point. And then, like I say, I can't say that this dad is lying because he gonna point out some other shit. It's like he was talking about the person who advised him. He brought up some, I don't know how true it is, the allegations he made on the dude advising the family, that dude was somebody that abused the child or some shit. They all spewing out shit. And then it was the shit I heard from Charleston White talking about he abused his kids. He was a sexual predator or some shit. And like, he did make a point. If he was that, he'd have to be registered. So
I come to pray with you and show the world we can close the gap of this unbelievable racial divide. And what'd you do? You widen the gap even further. You hire a convicted, baby shaking felon who's only in it for the money, who gives you bad advice, kicks me out of a press conference. Oh, funny. I was somewhere I wasn't supposed to be, but I left when asked. I didn't stab anyone. And then you proceeded to gaslight me with your convicted felon, quote, advocate, minister? Minister of what? Minister irrelevant? Minister of bullshit? How about minister fuck you? Y'all think I'm a saint? I'm no saint. I'm as human as you. I have emotions. Just because I'm a Christian doesn't mean I don't sin, because I don't walk on water and I don't turn into wine. And anybody else can, step up. Don't become kicking rocks in my backyard. Look in your own. The display of adults on the internet. If your children saw how you acted, would you be proud? Or is that what you teach them? Do you teach them that racism is okay? Do you teach them? Do you inbred?
See, I don't like where he going about the teaching racism, because he needs to address that about white folks. He need to address the racism of white folks. Black people are just pointing out the historics of racism through a white system. And a lot of white people love to ignore that shit. So I know he's pointing this out. He ain't talking to white folks. But the thing is that this was kind of the wrong case to make this a racial thing, being that, you know, a suspect black, a victim white, them feeling what happens in the court system and all that shit. That shit is all understood. But race ain't had nothing to do with this. They should have stuck to the facts, left that shit out the way, and tried to build up an actual self-defense case. You got to bring up a case. They done threw a punch. They done struck you. You get hit. Like when they show him in his mugshot, his face clean to the motherfucker. His clothes is clean. He ain't been grabbed on. So that's where Karmelo fucked the case up. You know, lawyer gonna be able to defend that shit. And then all of a sudden you reaching and pulling the blade out. Like, come on, that's a hard one, bro. But like I said, I thought Karmelo was gonna be able to walk away from this shit based on, you know, not having this extensive record and this and that. But it was damaging when they were like, he provoked this shit. And of course, he's going to be charged as an adult for committing an adult type crime. And in a setting where what you need a knife here for. Your protection isn't to go to this track meet. You have issues with the school. It's understood if you went to school and stabbed somebody at your own school, maybe you dealing with bullying and nobody in the school fixed that. You went to a track meet at another school, and then you go about doing this shit. Like, come on, that shit just looks bad. The more and more they probably looked at this shit, broke it down, the way they can go to social media, seeing how the family act, what remorse they show, if there was any type of remorse, and they factor in all that shit. It's like this dude is gonna move on as if he's the victim. And no punches were thrown. That shit is, and for them to not accept, ain't nobody gonna accept that shit, but take the social media and making these type of statements when you got somebody lost their life, homie. There's a victim out here. That's why I be talking about with the Max B shit. I don't like that shit. I think niggas who commit this shit against people and go on and act as if they did nothing wrong got life fucked up. That's why I say that shit with the on Street Gang TV, watching the interview with Tommy Shakur Ross, aka Joker from Matrix Gangsters, and about his situation. He walking out of the store, see somebody just because they from a rival gang, didn't threaten him or nothing. He kills the dude, goes on the run to evade police because people seen him, because they all in the same neighborhood. They know each other. He know he can't get away going to run, but they know his family because these people all grew up together. They go to his house and kill his mother and father and shit. And over time, that dude comes out and speaks the truth on everything. He had to grow into that shit and accept accountability of what he was wrong for. All of it was wrong because a guy shouldn't have lost his life. Same way with this kid. And that's the thing people don't come to terms with. You got to live with your actions, homie. That's even like the other great channel that's coming out with the cats behind bars, who are, I think it's called Between the Lines, is the other YouTube channel. Let me pull this shit up, but people ain't hip to this shit. I'm an LA motherfucker, so I watch all this kind of shit, and I be up on a lot of dope content. Let me see between. Let me go. Here it go. Let me put this shit up. You ought to listen to these stories of these people. These are people. Some of them ain't never coming home. Some of them are fighting to get life in prison because there's a lot of people in LA who have had life sentences who are out here free, who are out free now. And so this is the channel here. Is all sorts of goddamn interviews that they're conducting with this one. All sorts of shit. And I think it was somebody in the NBA that just went to there. Danny Green just went in there. Suge Knight was on one of these. Let me go into the videos. So this is the breakdown of their videos, lay out all these videos. 150 years. They go Danny Green there. Former pro says take on Lancaster prison. He got life for robbery. Says he chosen pimp, faced 7 life sentences. This dude tells his story behind bars. Says he's 11, says when the gang found him, he committed a murder. All these motherfuckers got crazy stories of the lives they have taken, and they have all come to terms to speaking the truth about that shit, not making the little childish excuses like it wasn't my fault, I didn't do it, man, it was them, they set me up. A lot of them cried that shit, and they just have to own up to that shit. And that's a hard thing for people to do, to own up to this shit. But let me continue on. Be accountable for your actions. Like, you're going to kill somebody, you got to own up to that shit. You can lie when they trying to investigate your ass. But once they catch your ass, man, get the fuck out of here. You listen to a bunch of jailbird, know nothing ass niggas who just fucking you up. You come up for parole, all the evidence stacked against you, you still can't admit the shit. And go to parole board and they deny your fucking ass.
It's okay. Do you teach them? Do you inbred? Do you program your kids to hate, to kill? From day one, I said this was never about race. Please don't make it about race and don't politicize it. And what did you do? You chose both. The race card, black fatigue, it's real. I'm sorry. You have embarrassed your own culture and race. Don't get me wrong, we got a lot of people that embarrass the shit out of me too. But you guys, you got a patent on that shit. And the only people that's going to change it are you. Don't blame the white person.
And look, this is where he's taking it to a racial line, but I mean, they made it there. He white dude, he gonna stand on white shit. So I understand that shit. But the white dude, he lacks knowledge. He don't really know shit. But he's a hurt father. I understand where the fuck he coming from.
Because we can't change it. But you're gonna blame the white person for every fucking thing else. I'm gonna tell you right now. Charleston White, you think you're funny? We'll see who's laughing.
Oh, so I guess
Anthony.
I guess that's where he talking about he gonna sue Charleston White or something.
Pussy and a coward, and you raised one. Kayla, you drunk bitch.
Yeah, he talking about his mama and
What'd
dad.
you do to that boy to make him stab somebody? My God, what kind of mother are you? Hey, Kevin Hayes, you fucking liar. Day after it happened. How many lies did you sit and type up on your keyboard, you big keyboard warrior? You a big tough man. You still live in Baton Rouge? Remember you said you'd come to Frisco, buddy? You're supposed to find me. I told you we could sit down and talk. That's all you do. Talk, Mr. Squeaky Clean. You're the only one in your family without a damn record. I guess that's something to brag about in your culture.
Damn, he said in his culture.
You people hang your hat on the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Matt, I think this shit is cool, homie. I don't do that black, this is versus black is white. I do enough of that shit. And I stand on what's real with black and white issues. But I know when shit is bullshit. And it is Karmelo shit. I ain't playing the black and white shit. These two young ass dudes who come across each other and counter each other. Nobody stopped that shit. This kid decided to bring a knife. This ain't no black and white shit. The dude took a life and his parents playing victim. They ain't apologize for that shit. Like, nah, I don't buy into that shit. I'll drop the link after I go through your comments.
Let me make one up. Y'all can make let me make something racist up so y'all can go viral. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about watermelon felon? How's that one strike you? I hope he enjoyed his first night in that cell last night. Because he's gonna have many nights to think about what the fuck he did.
Yeah, I feel him on this shit. Nigga done took your son, man. Fuck all that
I
black and white
forgave him,
shit.
so I don't
Nigga is
carry the hate
crazy
and the
playing,
anger.
thinking that shit matter.
How
That shit don't matter,
poetic
homie.
justice is served. You just do a big softball and knock it out of the park. Thank you for making it so easy for me. So you can live with your lie if you want to, but my truth is forever. Just like the fact your son is a convict
That nigga
and a
lost
killer.
a son, a twin out of that.
Forever.
Crazy thing this nigga wrong for saying this shit.
Forever's a long time. What's your master plan, Mr. Anthony? To use your son as income and soak up as much money playing victim to line your pockets and then abandon him when he's at sentencing or victim impact? You just left him up there by himself? Amazing. Amazing. What about what about you, Drew? What kind of father are you? You want to talk about what kind of father? All right, let's talk about what kind of father you are. Let's talk about your arrest. Let's talk about your warrants. Oh, was it drugs? Coke? You did? Tell me some other shit. Let's pull it up. Because I'm welcome every one of you to pull up my criminal history. Someone who tried to make up some bullshit saying
So this where he going in to challenge the shit that I guess Charleston White made this up about him.
I'm a sexual assault person. Guess what? If you're convicted of sexual assault in Texas, you have to register. Please check the registry. Please check my background in criminal history. It's not
What is it? Oh.
Drew Anthony, Kayla, you're cowards. You wouldn't even show up for your son's sentencing or victim statement impact. You abandoned your kid. You left him there. I guess he's no more use to you because you can't get any more GoFundMe money or GoSendGo money. You are grifters. You should be ashamed of yourself. You raised that child. And I swear to God, CPS to come check on those other three that you still have.
Yeah, that's some fucked up shit to say.
You never once admitted or took accountability. You tried to play victim.
Yeah, see
The
that's
real victim.
see that's why I rock with him where he talking about they try to play victim. Oh wait, did the video end? Hold on. Did that shit end? Hold on.
Let's pull it up.
Oh yeah, that
Because
was
I'm welcome every one of you to pull up my criminal history. Someone who tried to make up some
Let
bullshit
me go through the
saying
chat.
I'm a
I'm not gonna look
sexual
at that.
assault person. Guess what? If you're convicted of sexual assault in Texas, you have to register. Please check the registry. Please check my background in criminal history. It's not.
All right, so there we go. So he I rock with him. I mean he cooked. I rock with what he stated. That nigga lost his son, homie. And then he's sitting there, they've been quiet. And then he's sitting there watching the parents of the dude convicted of killing his kid playing victim and then going off on the attorney they hired and talking about the attorney didn't do his job. Man, get the fuck out of here. Appeal that shit. Stay out the motherfucking cameras. If anything, if they gonna get on there, be remorseful. We apologize for what happened and we're sorry. And it's just me, us. Like, man, that shit ain't about to help this nigga situation, homie. And the map says Dirt Nat for Austin. It is so Matt clearly on what's his name? Carmelo Anthony's side and shit. Like I said, I thought Carmelo walk away from this shit, but it is what it is. It's just what you face. You're gonna deal with that court. But like I was stating to the people in the video I made that want to write all them comments talking about this age well. Yeah, age well. Carmelo's still alive. And this is the other thing that's hurtful for and where they got to think. People don't think about this shit. especially when people live in these old bubbles and it's just this me mentality they got, and they don't think anything else about the outside world and impacts of them being me, is the fact that the white dude parents got to go to a grave site and talk to the motherfucking ground, to a fucking, how old was that kid? That kid like 17 or 18-year-old. They got to go talk to an 18-year-old dead motherfucker in the ground. They get to go visit their kid. Keep that shit off of the fucking cameras. Breakfast Club and all them shit. Need to keep that shit off the camera. If these niggas need money, just give them the money. Simple as that. All that playing, that shit does not look good or feel good to the family of a motherfucker who done lost somebody. The fuck niggas thinking? I don't know what the niggas don't be thinking. That's why I always talk about how stupid motherfuckers is. All day. I can just go on and on every day just talking about how dumb motherfuckers is. And even if I'm dumb, I be wanting some niggas to tell me when I'm dumb. Like, we got to learn to be real about shit. That's the only way to really fix shit, is to be real about shit. And then the boxing sparring says what's good, my brother? Salute, my brother. And then L5 player in the building, salute. And then Matt says, Jeff lying. Red says, so don't believe that BS. Nah, bro, I don't think that dude lying, because guess what? This is the other thing, like I said to the people who were talking about like the video I made and talking about how I aged well. Like I told them dumbass people, even the white folks who's writing this shit, making this shit, the black versus white shit, even when they did this shit with OJ and shit. And like I tell the story when I was in Evanston, when the white kids got their ass whooped. Don't none of you motherfuckers know these people? You ain't related. That's why I used to say to white folks, like, damn, you related to Nicole Simpson? You related to whatever that nigga named Goldman, Ron Goldman? You related to him? Oh, then why you putting so much passion into that shit? We didn't. It ain't like we sat there and watched them die. This ain't, and then people bring. So why you act like we watch a man, George Floyd? Shit ain't about race. It's about inhumane shit by an inhumane ass white cop. So that's why you can't let people, how you gotta learn how to control the narrative, be witty when you talking old backwooded, twisted, bigot, hoe ass motherfuckers. And Nicole ain't related to none of the motherfuckers that sit there, cried, and play all this racial divide shit on that shit. Nobody, when the verdict's in and want to cry about that shit, you ain't got no real tears of pain from that shit. Your pains is coming from Civil War losery. Simple as that. Civil War endings of slavery, inhumane shit. Because you ain't part of the family. You ain't Anna Nicole Simpson's kids. You ain't her fucking nieces, her daughter. You ain't none of that shit. The family got to deal with that shit of whoever killed her and the Goldman family of whoever killed him. Because I don't put that shit on OJ. He walked away from his trial. His trial could have went the other way as well. And if evidence pointed that way, if it had not been for bigots playing bigot games. So going back to this shit, like I was telling the dummies writing these comments, think they control me. I am like untrollable. I'm immune to trolling. That's why I don't block shit on my channel. People who got wrenches, we don't block shit. You can write whatever the fuck you want on here. You can disagree with me. You can cuss all that. I don't do none of that shit because ain't no emotions over here, but real shit. It's about the people, what I wrote to these people. I'm going to be free. I'm going to be able to make an opinion on another video. I'm still living. Now, when it goes down to this situation, Karmelo ass has to think about that for 35 years. There ain't no impact to me. I ain't related to Karmelo. I'm not his parents. I wasn't one of the kids who was there at the school. The moment that they watched this dude and the other kid lost his life, interact with each other, and to watch him die, ain't none of that shit. I ain't the parents who got to go visit a motherfucking son in prison. I ain't the parents that got to go talk to their kid in the grave. And I hope to never, ever have to be that shit or experience that shit. Or if my kid did some shit like that and I'm getting on camera talking about he innocent and he didn't deserve all that time. It is playing black. Say my son killed a white motherfucker. And I'm sitting in there, the race play this, and I'm sitting on camera and hearing witness testimony that nigga just walked with a white kid and blew that nigga head off. Got to accept that shit. Be accountable for that shit. Now you can't go out there doing that shit. Raise the money, get him a lawyer. Like man, they was wrong. They lied and they just set him up and did him wrong. And then Boxer Sparring said these motherfuckers have no accountability, none at all. And then Matt says the attorney was trash. How was the attorney trash, bro? Explain it. Just write your thoughts down, highlight them in bullet points for when I get through the comments. And I want you to say how this attorney was trash, just because the parents in there crying about the attorney they hired. And then Matt says the attorney was trash. Says he didn't talk to none of the witnesses. Says object to nothing. Says you wrong tonight, my brother. Says this is the South. The South ain't got nothing to do with it. I lived in the South. The South got everything to do with it when you want to stay stuck in the South mindset of being like white folks and just run all over you. But black people run over each other. That shit ain't got nothing to do with that shit. There's a lot of white folks. This is what I'll be highlighting. There's a lot of white folks in prison for killing black folks. There are some who can get off for killing. There's black folks who've gotten off for killing white folks. Charleston White, one of them. But then he had to tell on some other people and they went to prison and shit. I think Charleston White ain't get off for doing it. He was there when somebody did. And guess what? Are those kids in prison for life who killed that white dude that Charleston White talking about he robbed? Because I think I heard Charleston White talking about they're free now. All of them are free, right? Like, so no, you can't play that shit. There's things in the law. There's things that are mandatory and sensitive. You ain't got a clear-cut case to be able to defend yourself because the laws work for black niggas too. Until black people realize that shit, you gonna always be stuck in playing like you got no shot. But yeah, the courts is fucked up. The courts is fucked up. There's no doubt about it. But when evidence got your ass, homie, and everything's based on evidence, witness statements and shit, and you can't find a witness to back you, everybody wants to go present for the prosecution. Because guess why Karmelo didn't have no fucking witnesses? Because he's on the other team fucking side in that motherfucking situation. He ain't got an ally over there. And the kid he knew wasn't a fucking ally is. He put himself in a bad situation, homie. There ain't no other way to put that shit. You got no allies. They got everything working for him. That's why his attorney couldn't do shit. Sometimes a client puts a motherfucking attorney in a bad fucking spot. It's simple as fucking that. This didn't involve if a glove fit, none of that shit. His fingerprints on that knife, it ain't being like, man, that wasn't my knife. There's some other kid stabbing. He ain't got none of that shit to run with. Like, come on. He tell the cops I did it. And probably said, I'll do it again if the nigga say he gonna touch me. Says the attorney was trash. Says he didn't talk to none of the witnesses. Says object to nothing. Says you wrong. No, you're wrong because you don't know what he objected to. You weren't in the court. And I wish they make more like when there's court trials that gain a lot of fucking media attention that they're public court cases. Vlasica says, what up? Talk about Reggie Cochran. And then Matt says all them kids' statements says change from the testimony. How do we know that? How do we know that? You don't know that. We just going off what these niggas on the internet been feeding us. And a lot of times it'd be misinformation. Vlasica says you have to put yourself in the father's shoes. Says, what would you do? Says, if that happened to baby Owens, I'm gonna be just like this father and say way worse shit than what this white dad say. I'm gonna say some real vicious ass shit. Like shit. I couldn't imagine that fucking shit. You get a call, some motherfucker done smoked your child. Man, get the fuck out of here. And then the parents, usually don't hear shit from the parents of murderers. Them motherfuckers stay under the radar. They deal with how they deal with their communications directly with their kid. And they gonna handle that shit. Always be there. I'm gonna come visit you, this and that. Now, no, man, they did you wrong. Unless that nigga was not the one who did it, then that's different. But all this getting on and turning this into some other shit that ain't gonna work, like, stop it. And they talking about the kids who testified wasn't just white kids. Black kids, all type of shit that watch what this nigga did. Like, he put himself in a bad spot. Teaching kids about battles, homie. You're on the wrong side. You're on enemy lines from a competitive standpoint. And then you stab somebody that everybody knew this other dude. They were on his team. Your team somewhere clear on the other side. I don't know if his team clear on the other side of the football field are just down the bleach or something. Like, but nobody over there to advocate for you is there. Your attorney only got 6 people to work with. And the match says it's always about black and white. No, that's what y'all think. It's always black and white in California. You want to really talk some black and white shit? It's black and white. California can say that more than y'all. It's black and Latino, black and Asian. It's more of that shit in California than where y'all at. Like, what are y'all talking about? And he says it's always about black and white. Says in the South, says y'all don't know. Man, Matt, y'all go overboard with that shit. There's times when that shit is a factor, and there's a time when it ain't. And a lot of people get caught up in that shit. You a black person working a bunch of white folks and thinking race is a factor. That's like I had to tell the homegirl. She working in a corporate setting and certain things is being done. She thinking it's because she the only black chick up in there and they got it out for her. And like I tell her, like, it may not even be that race shit. And I know that's the way it can feel when it's, you know, this you're like in a cultural disadvantage. Like you feel in a certain way. You don't relate to none of these motherfuckers. And then one to feel like I got to go to a black city and be around black folks. And I'm like, it may not turn out. Guess what? The experience is worse when gotten around an all black corporate office setting. It's like it ain't just that. Sometimes some people just don't like each other. Some people are pieces of shit. And trust me, I fucking analyze that black and white shit because I'd be staying on that black and white shit. And a lot of times when I look back on the fuck ups I done, it may not been no black this and black that. It may just been 2 motherfuckers that just don't like each other. And it's going to be hard to break. This is America. We got this American history. That's understood. And trust, if anybody understand that shit, it's going to be I. Like, come on. I ain't going off of movie shit. I go off of real experience. That's why I tell experiences on everything. Not some shit I watched in a movie. Not some shit I read out of a book. I got my own personal stories of this shit. Like come on. Everything ain't black and white, homie. And then Picasso in there saying, yo, and the match says Austin should have kept his hands to himself, says had no authority, says to physically move nobody. But they never, from what I heard, like I said, this court case wasn't a public one where we get to watch it. I never heard nobody say that nigga got touched by nobody. Nobody. Ain't see a punch mark on him, none of that shit. Even that white boy Zimmerman tried to pull the shit that Trayvon Martin was whooping his ass. And then now they give him them old bullshit pussy ass laws talking about stand your ground because you swinging on him. I ain't heard no shit about this nigga being punched on, homie. And you're a young dude. Fight or flight. That's simply it, homie. And then L5 player says when Austin Metcalf father says wanted to go to the prayer with Karmelo parents says, and they banned him, says that was a terrible look. No, it wasn't. That father kind of showed up, just popped up, heard they had an event there. He showed up. What the fuck you think they gonna show up? Your son just got killed. Nigga, that shit could have turned bad. So no, the father was wrong for that shit. Says going with a free lawyer says didn't help us. It didn't help their son. I don't know if the lawyer was free or they paid for that lawyer or whatnot. But no, the Austin Metcalf father showing up at a prayer shit, he was wrong. And it could have turned out bad for his stupid ass. But he's in a real emotional spiral. Like, who wouldn't do that shit? You a father lose a child you fucking love. Your kid go off to competing in sports and you get, imagine that phone call you get. Like, I be watching these like Columbine shit. Like it's an episode, like not episode, it's a documentary on this Columbine shit. And you know, every parent gets scared when you got, and it's mainly these white kids creating these scenarios at these schools. You getting a call or you hearing on the news there's a shooting at blah 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 school and your kids go there. Can you imagine what happened to your motherfucking heart? And now you rushing up to this motherfucker, and now you can't go to the school. They getting the parents to meet at this school where the kids being transport dropped off, and you sitting there. There's all these families reuniting and shit. And then the last bus is coming, and you just sitting out there, and now it gotta hit you like, damn, I'm about to be one of these parents that get this fucking call. Like, you better hope that killer kill his motherfucking self. Like, come on, homie, that shit ain't cool for nobody. But that's where that father is. His mind's spiraling, but he was stupid to show up because Metcalf, I mean, Anthony family could have beat his motherfucking ass, or somebody could have smoked his ass. You don't know he coming out here to retaliate. So no, the Metcalf dad was dumb showing up to that prayer thing for Karmelo, but it's like the Karmelo family doing all that was almost feeling like it was a setup. But you know, people get their own stories out there, get ahead of their shit. Box Barnes says one kid lost his life, the other about to lose his manhood. Says 35 years is a long time. Says to get your booty hole beat in. That shit may not even happen to him, but you gotta hope that kid don't start because he ain't never had pussy yet. That he been there for 35 years and start looking at punks, and then he want to get his first experience with motherfucking romances with a fucking punk that's fucking in his mind a woman and shit. And Karmelo come out that's gonna really devastate his family. He turned out like that, so they gotta hurry up and get Karmelo married. Get Karmelo married and get him some pussy, and try to get that shit routinely. Like they got to make sure, like during, because I think you can get the conjugal visit. He should be able to get that shit, and get him some pussy, man. Don't and you know you just got to, and that's a part of the development. Teaching your boy, like you teach them the real shit. In the prison, you going in this prison culture, and it's just so much fucked up, and it's the street level kind of culture shit. And what people hide is so much homo shit in that shit. Like, nah, get that motherfucking kid married, get him a bitch up in there. So many bitches that love prisoners, motherfuckers. I seen bitches who love people that commit murder. Get that dude a chick before he go off on the wrong end and on some punk shit. Stay, and then he just got to stay out the way of the prison shit. Like, educate yourself, stay in books, go to counseling. If you got anger issues, because no telling if this kid had anger issues. I can't listen to the parents give off these little things they want to feed you about. Everybody kids sweet. I ain't watching niggas parents who these kids be you ever been to funerals of fucked up people who you know are fucked up, and everybody, oh Lord, he was just a good kid, and one time he got a C on the paper. They don't want to talk about all the F's the motherfucker been getting throughout school and shit because the parents ain't checking shit. He had one C. Oh my God, the boy had so much potential. It could have been this, it could have been that. But when he robbed the store, I mean, he didn't rob everybody else, and he looked out for everybody and only shot the store owner. Like, fuck out of here. There's always somebody, they're gonna paint these damn fucked up ass people as good people. So you got to go seek your goddamn counseling, get that shit out the way, get your mental health in check. And this is the other thing that a lot of people don't talk about, because I'm listening to the Back on Fig shit. And I'm going to go into this shit because Sporty Face is kind of the big story. 40 Face, J Hood, the Compton Rick Rock stuff. But in the Back on Fig shit that I like that he opened up about. And that was dealing with, and it was him and what's the Asian dude from Hoover? Sharky, and it was speaking because they got talking about where he's talking about his mental health and about how you deal in certain environments, and he speaks about where he looking for peace. He don't mind talking to he a neighborhood. These cats from Hoover, he only with Ann Hefe, who from 8 Trey, and Munchie B, who's a blood. He talking about even before Munchie B was blind, how they used to go at each other and trying to shoot each other. But to find that much growth, but it's a lot of shit he's still growing for, from wanting to fight people. Wanting to fight the Rick Rock dude, the shit about fighting the J Hood dude over stupid shit. But understand there's still challenges he faces as he even tries to grow as a man. And to break away from that street shit what has failed him. And to think about his mental health, where he is psychologically. And as you go through, and then they were talking about where they seen, because that was Sharky was saying in response. The first thing he told his wife when he was getting out, he needed to go to counseling. Because he worried about his mental health. They watch some of the biggest and strongest, baddest motherfuckers break in there. And a lot of people hide that shit. Most gangster motherfuckers everybody hides his mental health shit. And even, who was that? Big Miz, I think, was talking about that shit on, I don't know if when he was on Kev Mag, it was during a Kev Mag live video where he was talking about, was that Big Miz, or it might have been the dude, I think it might have been him. Where he's talking about how niggas be in the hood not paying attention to where they homies is. No, it might have been a dude from 4 Trey Gangster they be having on there. One of them. and about how people see the homies in their neighborhood just doing wild shit that we term as the most gangster. He the most realest nigga. Like, no, your homie going through some psychological breakdown and shit, and not knowing how to cope with it, because in this neighborhood or this community, this is normalized behavior. Oh yeah, the homie, damn, the homie. Like, no, your homie is spiraling the fuck out of control. That motherfucker's dying right before your fucking eyes. That's why some of the wildest niggas don't give a fuck if they live or if they fucking die. And that's why it's important for people to be around the right people, clear yourself of shit, find out why are you so angry, find out what triggers you, and learning how to deal with that. And most motherfuckers don't, because people ain't been given the tools to cope with shit. It ain't. And it's like, nah, fuck all that dumb shit niggas be on. Like, this situation with these young dudes is a fucked up, dumb situation. And to play victim and your kid's still here and got another shot at freedom, you don't want to fuck his parole chances up or even his appeal chances. Like, don't do that. Stay off the media. Deal with just getting a new attorney, talk to a lawyer, but y'all ain't victims, homie. Y'all ain't victims. He says, Big Man has me rolling, says he brought up his homie named OG Willie Lunchmeat. Says LA brother says had the craziest nicknames. Yeah, LA is full of crazy motherfuckers. That's why LA motherfuckers have so much entertaining stories. Why Hollywood be trying to write movies about the neighborhoods you come from, because it'd be like, there's so much. I was talking to the older cat from Crenshaw Mafia. I was talking to the older cat because we was talking about the game yesterday, but then we start talking LA shit. But even with his story, then it'd be like, well, he been shot 8 different times and shit. He talking about missions he done been on, and then like that shit. But it's just all because. But then he was getting into like when this shit began to change, because like when I did the story, when I was doing the story on the breakdown. What's up, Cuzzo? Deuce time in the building. Well, I did the breakdown about South Central and about how the dynamics change of how this whole area is white, where that shit didn't exist. But him being a blood, talking about like how they had to unify, being outnumbered and shit, but that wasn't. But then he even get into it like we all fucking related. But then we going at each other and shit, killing each other, not giving a fuck about each other. But even him, because he's an older cat, he was talking about like when shit really went bad, he was talking about the 90s. It was like, and it's just, man, come on, this shit is a crazy dynamic. And as people look back on shit, especially the older cats, look back on that shit, ain't nothing cool about what the fuck has been normalized. None of that shit. And then Nina Life in the Building says it's true. Angie Charles says no one showed up, says to vouch for Karmelo, says before sentencing. Says none of his teachers, coaches, friends, family, nobody vouched for him. Yeah, and that's a telling thing for him, and why that case went bad for him, and why the parents don't want to cope with that shit. That's understood. And then Nina's Life says Charleston White lying. Matthew says I heard that the prosecutor and the judge says are friends with the victim's dad. Says and they did not recuse themselves. Says could be grounds for an appeal. Says for the Anthony defense team. But I also been hearing that photo came out was some what's that shit called? Was the I agree with you, Rob G. Spurs the next 3 games. That shit was some Photoshop shit or AI shit. And then L5 player says most of the people protesting are women or feminine men. Nah, that ain't even true. L5 player, you follow too much Trump dialogue type shit. And the Velocity Cuss says, what the fuck is a prayer gonna do? Nothing. Prayer ain't about to do shit. I don't even know why a lot of people bring that shit up, because they've been praying all their damn life. None of this bad shit would have happened. That's what I remember an old cat telling me. It's an old Muslim cat. And I remember saying to him, because it's just a common thing people doing. Like when he was like dying and shit. And he come to terms like with dying. I was like, man, I'll say a prayer for you. He was like, man, ain't no use for you praying for me. He said, I got to come to terms with what's about to happen. Shit. I've been praying all my life. Shit. I'm a praying man, and the person I've been praying to or hoping, all good from me, and this shit, it enters my body and shit. Like prayer ain't gonna do no good for this shit. I just gotta face it. It's like shit. And then Neil Light says you don't stab someone just because they push you. Says use some common sense, people. Says what are we teaching our kids? Says the quickest way to catch a life sentence. Yeah, that's a lot of people are teaching that shit. Teaching how to catch life sentence. Trust me, trust me. And then Picasso says those bullies beat up their father, says, and broke his arm. Like I would remember Charleston White saying all that shit about the kids and all that shit, but going into court, I don't think you can paint this image of the kids, but then the image would have to be painted. Okay, so they known for breaking arms and doing that. Then this should have been done to Karmelo. Like there's no story of them being like, "What's up, Blue? What's up, Blue Hustle?" There's no stories of them like, "Oh yeah, the Austin put him in a headlock. Austin tried to arm bar that nigga. Austin grabbed that nigga by his neck." Like if they had that shit to run on. And Karmelo should have been running with that shit, but Karmelo knew not to put that shit out there because now it jacks your credibility, homie. If you got the fucking society running says, yes, indeed, Blue Hustle, you trying to get society to run with this narrative of, the victory of public opinion. Like that shit ain't got nothing to do with jurors. And he says, since Karmelo did right, says in protecting himself, says, but why were you over there? Why were you over there with them? Says why he had a knife. Yeah, and he could have just walked away. But that pride shit, when them girls up in there and shit, and you trying to maintain, that's the thing with young dudes. You got an image to uphold, and especially in front of girls. Girls can crush a lot of shit. A laugh from a girl at a young dude can crush that motherfucker. A lot of these older dudes you see destroyed, fucked up, their confidence is probably from a girl laughing at them. Even when you follow like this serial killing shit, and you look at like even the Grim Sleeper shit. I'm watching this shit on Hulu, where the fuck this shit I done got. And they going into his shit about him killing prostitutes. And the one lady survived was like, he like blanked out and he talking about an ex-wife that left him to start prostituting and shit. And feeling embarrassed or a girl laugh at a motherfucking. These dudes is weird in this world. That's why you got to teach your boys not to be a weirdo. You got to break your sons a weirdo shit. Don't be crying over no broken heart. Don't give too much love to shit. Like, hell no. Even when you love a chick, leave enough for yourself to let that shit go. You don't own shit. And even with your daughters, you gotta teach them not to be on simple shit. He says there's an argument being made, says that if the circumstances were reversed, the self-defense case would have had a better chances because of the race issue. And that's gonna always be something to bring up, but I doubt it because there's a lot of white kids in Texas in prison for fucking taking the life of some black folks. Ain't they some white folks that recently somewhere in the South shot at some kids? And the husband get like 30 years, the wife get like 25 years, and they white ass crying. They was all on that old backwood Confederate flag shit and thought this white power and all this and that shit would protect their little redneck asses. No, just said get your funky, dusty asses in that jail. And I don't think they killed nobody. It was over like some racial shit. But shooting at kids, and they definitely should be off the streets. And then Nina Life says, so no one vouched for him, says because he murdered another student. Says, why are y'all defending the murderer? Says America has a problem. Says, what the fuck are we teaching our kids? Says this is a B Ward's mentality. Or backwards. So that's supposed to be a backwards mentality. And then Andrew Charles says, Nina Life says, that's my point. Matthew says, so remember that Trayvon Martin case. Says that killer got off on self-defense. No, because that killer was able to use Trayvon Martin was beating his little sorry ass the fuck up. So he's showing that he had these defense wounds because he followed the law just trying to provoke some shit. He's able to use that shit in front of that old faulty ass jury. And that was a case that was filed. That case was a foul ass case. That courtroom was infiltrated like a motherfucker because ain't no way Zimmerman should have walked off, but there's no way that Zimmerman shouldn't have been retaliated against by the family of Trayvon Martin. And who knows what may happen to Zimmerman down the line. A lot of times you just lay in wait. You let heat go away. You got to pay attention to shit. Where's surveillance at on shit? If you really got to drop on this nigga, there's a way you can catch this nigga. Shit, enough cameras and AI face recognition shit to stop that shit. They'll get this whole ass. Fucking tie a motherfucking drawstring around his ass and leave him off somewhere. You ain't gotta blast that nigga. You got, man, it's a way to get that motherfucker if they wanted to. Or the family may just be like, fuck it. We ain't about to lose our freedom over that shit. And then Matthew says, Amber Geiger says, white female Texas cop killed someone, says got less than Anthony. Yeah, that's probably because her background. The judge was old mammy, simpleton ass, motherfucking peon ass black judge who could have did whatever she wanted to that motherfucker. That's her court. But her black ass too busy being sympathetic for a white woman, probably raised on, I don't know, mammying for a white lady and shit. Because I think she's in there combing a white lady here. And then Nina Life says, and his parents says, and don't forget the dude brother hugged the white lady. And then Nina Life says, and his parents says are on a sympathy. Says on a sympathy. Never once did they ever show you missing words. And Nina Life says on a sympathy tour. Says never once did they ever show remorse or sympathy. Says about the other dad. Says they also need to take accountability. Says come on, yeah, they are on a sympathy tour, and I think they're going the wrong way with doing a sympathy tour, and people need to wake up from it because it's always about this unity. As black folks, yeah, we need to unify, but black folks need to be mindful of how we go about unifying. That's just like the dumb shit with the damn black dude and tendernism shit. His old stupid ass ain't got shit. And he ain't gonna leave shit. Don't nobody want no tendernism shirt. Don't nobody want a tendernism hat. Niggas don't even say tendernism no more. That shit only had value at that restaurant where people want to go as their destination to try some food that these two dudes were making that were popularized at this restaurant. This nigga now go around to other spots. They ain't never had nothing just to bite on their food and do that shit like people gonna be like it's good. Oh shit, sugar doogie, quack, quack, give it a gag. Oh my God, this is the good food. Yeah, I don't even need my teeth to eat the meat. Oh, tendernism, man. Nigga, that shit is dead than a motherfucker. Nigga, you should have been starting a restaurant down there in Marietta where you had people traveling. Now they flying you every fucking where to have you do some goddamn minstrel show shit. You better off getting a time machine and go fucking Steph and fetch it like the old motherfuckers used to do for these white audience. Like, get the fuck out of here. That old nigga is stupid as fuck. And these people trying to do this whole black unification shit with no fucking plan. That old nigga should have sat his ass where the fuck he was at. Give time, work out the range with that business, or open a restaurant down there. This nigga down there, everybody else shit. Let me go to Soul Mama's Chicken Shack. Let me try a tender, tender strip. This is good tendernism. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. This old nigga talking about, man, chicken ain't hitting like that, man. Fucking 10-day-old goddamn greasing shit. And then Nina says, why isn't anyone looking at the evidence? And it says if he has stayed home, says after being suspended, we wouldn't even be discussing this shit. Says I've never heard Karmelo's parents publicly apologize. Says to the dead kid's parents. Says it shows no accountability. Yeah, they're wrong for the shit they're doing. Matt says you think this cool. I think it's definitely cool what the father did because I would have done even more than that. And then actually, I think I would lose my freedom over my kid. Like I say, I'll be in prison over that shit. I think a motherfucker will have to die, homie. Like, and that's what's wrong with murder, unless you can justify, because some people are real pieces of shit, and you taking their lives is the proper response. But some people are killing people because something wrong in their fucking head. And that's a reality. There are some people who just have murder on their minds because their minds are so fucked up because of years of childhood trauma and people treating them like shit. And that shit is true. That's why it's wrong for a parent who's a piece of shit. And they keep knowing damn well they can't provide for a child. They don't have love in their heart and they can't provide a child with love. When you don't love a child, that motherfucker's going to be the most fucked up person in existence and have no understanding of what they're doing is wrong. because they're mad. You can have a kid come out of a good home. Hell, you just had a damn Hollywood motherfucker get killed by his kid. And people think their house is good because they got all this money and shit. There's all type of rich people around here killing kids, killing their funky asses. But the house ain't a cool place. The parents is overboard strict and trying to impress everybody, trying to portray these images and wearing, like, stressing these kids out. House ain't happy and shit. Like, no, the home's supposed to be happy, homie, not where you stress motherfuckers out. And then Andrew Charles says the fatigue is real, says the real thing. Says that's something that's happening. I don't know what white fatigue, black fatigue, these are all new terms. Like I say, even he's used the word gas. I don't even know what the fuck gaslighting mean. Other word I hear people say passive aggressive. I don't even know what the fuck that shit mean. And then Picasso says it was people saying they were going to shoot Karmelo in the head. Says if he was free. I mean, these people who saying a lot of other shit. And the Matt says, drop the link. I'll drop the link. You know, I like to get through these comments. Nina Life says, and Charleston White says, keep switching to sides. Says first he was with the victim's family. Says then he switched to Karmelo's family defense. I did the same shit. I thought he was wrong when I'm looking at it, like in the initial case. I'm like, Karmelo fucked up. Like, why this nigga bringing a knife and this and that? Then I listen to these fools, information they give, and the people talking about that in the courthouse. I'm like, oh, he may walk away from this shit. Because they're making it seem, that's why I like these cases need to be showcased live. And they were like, oh, he was like, I'm not listening to like court TV. Oh, they exposed this, and they making it seem like, oh, their shit being exposed in this case. And then it come to find out, no, it wasn't. These niggas are saying, well, whatever they want to hear that suits what they want to hear. And that's what you get from a lot of people. A lot of people say shit that they want to soothe them. And you gotta report with what you know that the jury is hearing. And then Matthew says everybody has their own interpretation, and some people have a bias in the way they want to interpret shit, and they will come feeding you that shit. And then and he says keep your hands to yourself, says Elder Cali. That's a true statement too, but did they really put their hands on the dude? And is that grounds to so every kid, so there should be a number of stabbings at schools then, because a lot of kids are putting hands on each other. And then Matthew says Metcalf immediately confronted Anthony, says, and physically pushed him first. Says Anthony warned him, says not to touch him. Says the entire incident has happened in mere seconds. Says a frightened 17-year-old reacted badly. I ain't about to say all that shit, Matthew. Hell fucking over a push ain't grounds to stab nobody. Like that ain't grounds, but them white kids, like say that's the lesson even for them, for the white kids, is you don't come pressing people. You don't press people at all. You don't press people and being a bully or doing that with somebody smaller than you. Sometimes smaller motherfucker and smaller people have been taught, pick something up, use this and use that. And who knows? He got this emotional. She probably taught him a lot of this emotional shit. You pick something up, you stab a motherfucker, you take this. Boxer Sparring says, Dan says, not Karmelo, the watermelon felon. Yeah, that white dude went there with it. Need Life says, question. Picasso says, this was bullying, says, but the kid being bullied, says, will eventually strike back. Says, white people standing outside saying they will kill Karmelo, says, racism. But no, black people can say the same shit to them. Like I say, even when people talk about they can hang it, white people got necks. White people's hearts pump blood through their system too. They can die, and they do die. Like, y'all get too much power to white folks. Like, stop the shit. Like, stop powering these motherfuckers. Okay, they said that shit, and pretty sure black people said it back to them. There's a bunch of white folks who ain't got nothing to do with it. They ain't gonna go to the motherfucking family cookout for Austin Metcalf or none of that shit. They don't know this white dude. They injected some shit that's irrelevant and shit because they want to play the divide because they got their ass kicked in the Civil War by a bunch of black folks. Needle says, what did Karmelo family do? Says, with the money. That's their issue. Who gives a fuck about the money they collected? Like, that ain't about the money. This shit is about the verdict. Like, who gives everybody worries about the money people make. If they were able to generate the money, then fuck it. It's their money to play with how they play with. That's on them to live with. If they mismanage the money, don't use it for what it was raised for. And then Box Spartan says, this dude got cases on everyone. And then New Life says because if your son says is going against a murder charge, says you want to get the best legal defense team, says that costs a lot of money. And it says, and then Picasso says, cake ass. And then Life says he got 35 years, says meaning his parents didn't spend the majority of the money, says on lawyer. No, I don't think that. And I think you're looking too much in the money they raised. And then Mex in the bill, salute my brother Mex says they went with says the public defender says after raising all that money, bad move. That's what we hear people say. I don't think nobody know nothing about what money was done and what anybody done. We just know for what niggas off the internet telling us. And then Nina Light says Carmelo family says on the press tour, says they were even on the Breakfast Club, says trying to gain sympathy. Yeah, I seen that, and that's wrong. They going about that shit wrong. The fuck you on a sympathy tour for because your son went to prison? The fuck y'all talking about? That shit is not a bad look. And then you talk about, so if the system is racist and the system against you, what the fuck you think the system gonna do if that's the factors and you getting on here doing that shit? It's gonna make it better? Like, no. Appeal his shit. Go through the appeal process. Nearlight says, and Frisco says it's a good neighborhood. Says doctors live there. Says they have $800 million, says $800 to $1 million homes there. Says Karmelo was privileged, says, and people were going so hard on them. And he says play stupid games. And let me see. Let me try to get through some of these comments. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just drop the link because there's a lot of comments in here. This topic has brought in a lot of people's opinions. So here we go. Drop the link. Go ahead. I'll just keep showing every comment. If I don't read them, I'll still show our comments for those watching to read this shit as well. Says the people saying Karmelo was bullied, says people use common sense, says they both went to different schools, because Common, I don't know, Nita, you be adding words and throwing everything off. Says Common, I live in Collins County. Says Karmelo went to Centennial, says, and the other kids went to Frisco Memorial, I believe that's supposed to be. Says unless y'all saying he got bullied, says the same day, says he said the same day he stabbed someone. Yeah, that's the other thing. They can't use bully. They had different schools, don't know each other. This ain't like he dealing with a kid every day. And they went to a track meet and claiming a kid bullied him. Like, no, kids who stab people at school, do school shootings, are doing that shit at the schools they go to because they've been tormented for who knows how long it is. And like, nah, homie, that shit just ain't gonna fly like that. Andrew Charles says, if Karmelo had owned up, says, and expressed sincere remorse, says, regret, says that the lack of judgment he showed, says it would have factor in, I believe, says he still do time, says, but not facts. He wouldn't have got that shit. He wouldn't. The fact that he ain't, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Like no, like nobody wants to hear that shit. We got Matt in the building. Salute. Go ahead and cook, bro.
Whoa, what it do, Red?
What's happening, bro? And I see you disagree with everything. So go ahead. This on
All
you.
right.
You got the stage.
So Anthony family moved from Baton Rouge. That's where I'm at. So it's kind of like I know people that kind of personally know this family. You know what I'm saying, Red? So I've been keeping up with it. So this kid got bullied, Reg. He got surrounded by 4 white kids that was telling him to move. Now you 18 years old. You at a track meet. It's raining. You're under the tent. You're chilling with somebody that's supposed to be your boy or somebody you associate with, that your family hang with, your girlfriend is kin to, and then he play you like he don't like I don't know him. Like get him. He instigating this shit. Mello tell the guy the whole time. They going back and forth arguing about him moving out the tent. He said, bro, I'm good as long as you don't put your hands on him. Austin put his hands on him. That's what escalated from there, Reg. And it wasn't just, oh,
So they
yeah,
say
I'm
he put his
touching
hands
you.
on him. How?
Yeah, look, Reg. It wasn't,
Did
hey,
he punch them?
just push Reg. If you walk up to somebody, you're a linebacker. First, it started with them talking shit about the football team. Mello was talking to Eddie, which was supposed to be the person he knew. He told Eddie that they school was ass, that they was garbage. The other dude, all of them heard that. They turn around like, who's this guy? Who is this? He like, y'all ass, y'all garbage. So it started going back and forth like that. If you ran track, play sports, you know everybody mix around at a track meet. Don't nobody stay in their team area. Half the time, most teams don't have a damn area. So you sitting there, oh, Barfield played, you talking about his school in here under the tent. He telling you to move. If you 18 red, you finna listen to some other kid tell you to get up and move.
If I don't move and I know it's that, then I must want to fight. Simple as that. Simple as that, bro. It's simple as that.
Right.
But if I'm going to attract me, I'm going to attract me.
But
if I'm competing in the race, I got a knife on me. Like, no, I can't rock with this shit, bro. I can't rock with
it. Okay. Second of all, it wasn't illegal what he had on. That's why they could never charge him for having that on him. That wasn't part of the charge. And it wasn't considered a knife. They were supposed to call it a pocket tool. That's what his attorney did a horrible job of letting them use terminology, not objecting to terms that they wasn't supposed to be using. He didn't object to none of the terms, none of the statements the kids gave about who the aggressor was in the altercation. They first, in the statement, say the other guy was aggressive. Then when they got in court, it changed to Melo was the aggressor. But how could Melo be the aggressive if he's sitting down and somebody walk up to him and grab him up? They say he was sitting the whole time until he got touched, until he got shoved, until he got grabbed like a football move. Now, everything I just described to you was their statements. Every witness had a different statement of how physical it was in their testimony. The other thing was why we say the case wasn't fair, Red, because all the reporters, they put a gag order in the courthouse where nobody could go in and see the evidence. Like you say, it should have been open to the public, right? But it wasn't. So now being it's not open to the public, we got to trust what reporters they allow in there. The judge selected the reporters, so we got to listen to them. Every reporter came out and said that Jeff Metcalf was nodding his head to these kids while they was giving testimony, nodding them how to answer their questions. The black and white ones say the Red. So was he wrong for the killing? But did he get a fair trial? That's my point.
I think he got a fair trial, bro. I think he got a fair trial. The trial, you can't say a trial ain't fair just because he got
his attorney. Look,
hold on. Matt. We got to talk one at a time because we conversating. I think you got it, and then come off of mute because I muted your mic. So come off mute when I answer this. But I think you got to settle in with whatever they come with a verdict, homie. Like you go to trial, you take it to trial, you either win or you lose. Now the sentence, I thought he probably would have walked away based on what I'm hearing. In court, they heard some other shit, and it was coming out, but he still killed somebody. And now he knows that he was gonna get something. The fact that no remorse, they could have served this nigga life,
but
he didn't get that. He still get a second opportunity at freedom. He may even shorten that sentence. He still get the walk. Like, so say he got an unfair trial, I don't know. And then to say people bring all this stuff, you still get an appeals process. And so maybe present other evidence, but saying this, like everything that fucks him over, when you look at it like, homie, you came to attract me. You ain't bring this knife for somebody at your school. You go to school where you don't know none of these motherfuckers, but you go on their side and you got this knife with you. So who knows what this shit is on them for? These people tell you under their tent, hey, homie, you got to go on that side. Nigga, just go to your side. He could avoid it, but he like, fuck it. If this is what his decision was, he got to live with what the decision was. He felt to protect himself, and that's what he went with.
But Reg, it wasn't like that though, my brother. That's good. I would agree with you if it happened like that, but it wasn't like that. First off, there is no your side at a track meet in the bleachers. There is no your side. You go where the hell you want to go. And a coach told him he could go under there when it started raining. So not only that, he was dapped down by Eddie, the person he knew when he went under the team. He said by Eddie. So Eddie, when he got up in court, he acted like he didn't know Melo, right?
Yeah, Eddie a real piece of shit.
Right. So that's just to show you right there, Reg. Come on, Reg. They was all flipping their testimony, Reg. All them kids got to live in that town, and they got to deal with the backlash of that. That's a small little town. Everybody know each other, so they gotta get along. It's gonna be their head, their family getting harassed. And the reason,
Matt, real quick, let me ask the question.
And Matt, he go Deuce going to jet.
Yeah, I want to ask a question. I want to interject about the Eddie thing. So on the stand, when Eddie's acting like he don't know the nigga, and then then the defense supposed to put up some pictures of showing him and Eddie, Karmelo and Eddie together,
right?
Like all did that happen, or is that just
no? That's true.
Yeah. So what happened with that?
So that's what I'm saying. That happened. They showed that. And then they left it alone after that. That was the last.
No. This is what I heard about it. They stated that. No. This is what they stated. He stated that he wasn't really friends with him. He knew the girl that he was with.
Personal.
The girl he was with was like his cousin.
I know, but they had pictures of these niggas together, like
because he had
the track meet together, sitting down 10 days before that, under the same tent. 10 days before
so we know this nigga, and the nigga act like he don't know him when they get funky.
Right.
Yeah, that's the bitch.
Yeah, just because you know a nigga don't mean you really know a nigga. When
I know, but like if you go over there, like you somewhere.
Look, y'all, we gotta talk one at a time.
No. Let me say this way: if you somewhere and you don't know nobody, you know some nigga, you might know him. You know what I mean? You know him. And like he's a stranger, you start talking.
But you don't know a nigga when the nigga start funk with your homies. You're not gonna be like.
I know, but that's cool too, though. But you can't just be like, I don't know this nigga. You're like, you can't do that, bro. That's some bitch ass shit.
Yeah, you like, I don't know this nigga. Dudes, a lot of these dudes, you don't grow with them, you don't know them. We know a lot of them are bitch made dudes. You watch how people change up. You get around a certain.
I mean, they're kids, bro.
Like these niggas is foul. That's why I'd be like, parents got to be crucial about always wanting their kids to have friends. Like, dog, you gotta watch this shit, and you get on. That's what this nigga learned. This bitch ass nigga, he done known who could have de-escalated that shit, or many other kids. But when you dealing in this setting with kids, we want to see a fight.
But that's one more thing, Red. You keep saying he wasn't remorseful for what he did, Red. That's wrong, Red. They say the kid was crying. Listen. It's in the state police statement and in the testimony in court from the two people that caught him right after that, from the police and the coaches that testified. They said as soon as they told him the kid might not make, he was like, no, he could be all right. He not gonna die. He was boo-hooing, crying, sobbing in tears, Red. So he was remorseful. He cried. They testified to that, Red. Two people, the adult.
Yeah, man. And this is the problem with the whole situation, what we call white supremacy. It's not really niggas scared of the KKK or somebody gonna bomb your church. Nigga, this is the system of white supremacy is still effects. You know, he stabbed a nigga. He didn't try to kill him. I'm pretty sure he didn't try to kill him. A little quick poke, and it happened what it happened. That's not premeditated murder. first degree premeditated
What's the
murder.
point of stabbing somebody?
No, bro, you stab
Get
niggas
him
and poke
off
this
of
nigga
Just a
all
little
day, bro.
stab. Just a little stab.
No, yeah, shit. I don't know if you ever been there,
But
bro, but nigga,
Texas may not have where it got to be premeditated. I don't think.
Yeah,
no,
but
that's under
he
the law.
challenged them though. He said, "Touch me
No,
and
that's
see what
under the law,
happens."
bro.
That
No,
Murder
kind of
is
tells you.
But no, when you look at a lot of these crimes, different states have different grounds
no
on how they look
no
at murders.
first degree murder is general all around the federal statute.
It could have been second.
No, it could have been manslaughter. And
Nah,
this
because he
nigga would get some
decided in the
time.
moment he was going to kill him though.
Man, I ain't heard that.
No,
Okay.
but I'm saying so he told him like, touch me and see what happens. So in his head, he
So
already
that means
knew
that I'm gonna
this is
kill
what's
you.
going to happen if you
He
touch
said,
me,
as
bro.
long as you don't put your hands on me, we good. As
And then
long
if
they
you do,
statement
if
was,
you do put
That's
your
not
hands on
saying
you,
I'm
then
gonna kill
what?
you. Niggas
That's
get
what
hey,
I'm
poked all
saying.
the time. Niggas stab niggas all the time. He didn't try
that
to
means
slice his
up there.
throat.
Now,
Like,
if you
what
want to
the
be a man and challenge somebody, if somebody tell you, as long as you don't put your hands on me, that means you willing to take whatever consequence coming, right?
Okay, so what's the consequence?
So the consequence is he's 6 feet under, nigga.
Okay, so that's called
So
murder, nigga.
that's
No, it's not
Murder.
manslaughter. Yeah, I don't
that's
think you
his
tried to kill
fault.
No,
him. I don't think you
That's
tried to
his
kill him.
fault.
that wasn't
He
an
went over there
accidental
and put his
murder.
hands on
No, manslaughter isn't accidental. It's like you cause somebody to die. And fucking
Yeah, but it means you
you
didn't
know, he did
intend.
something. He did something that caused harm, and there's consequences for that. But first
Yeah, but
degree murder is premeditated, planned. I'm gonna do
yeah,
this.
that's
Like
like you
it's
went over there to do it. Yeah.
yeah,
him.
like
And
that's
then
crazy, bro.
second degree is something happened, and in the moment you
I'm
made
gonna
the
find out
decision to
Texas
kill.
law on murder and shit. Because
I'm
I don't
telling
think
you, bro. It's just
They got to
those.
stand your ground, man. They got to
No,
stand your ground. That's why
it's
it should
still
have made
standing
it
ground
even
within
harder for
reason.
murder one.
If they were jumping him, if they were jumping him, packing him out, and he poked somebody, yeah, that's stand your ground.
Let me
But
tell you,
a
look,
physical
look.
altercation,
Let me tell you a
altercation isn't stand your ground.
let me tell you the most piece of evidence key that they left out the whole case. When the police initially got to there, they interviewed Hunter, the brother. In his statement, police statement, he said they grabbed and took Karmelo bag. So in order to grab his bag and take it off of him, which was around his neck, y'all was snatching, jerking him around. You know why? Every kid say, yeah, Melo stabbed him, but they ain't see it. How they didn't see it? You know why? Because I got you pulled up by a shirt, rag dogging you. Because I'm 230, I'm 215, a linebacker, and you 135. A little
Has that been
lightweight.
substantiated? Because there's been all kind of things like, oh,
You could look
they
it
they
up.
they, they were
You could
yanking on
search
them.
it.
Some people
no,
say he pushed them.
I didn't hear nobody say none of this shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, is it true it's on tape?
Yes, one of the
They
witnesses
said, well,
described
the
that he
video
made a
don't stand on
linebacker
it.
grab move on him. The
Man,
other one said it was a slight shove. The other one said it was a push. All of them gave a different statement of what the grab was. But in order for you to get the bag off of him, which Hunter said he did, it was more than just a push. I can't push you and grab a bag that's wrapped around your shoulder, around your neck.
bro. Them niggas put 20
one
people.
push.
They put 20 people to side with this victim side.
Correct.
Hey, they can't make everybody say the same story. We ain't gonna say that.
And the thing,
everybody's story ain't the same, and that's the thing with witness testimony. Everybody got different vantage points. That's the thing people don't look. That's why you hear so many different variants. If I'm over here, it's happened over here. I've seen it from this perspective. You over there, your perspective is there. I'm over there. I'm up here. Like everybody's perspective is gonna be different, bro.
You know, but everybody's saying that it was just a push, and some people
and a little push ain't no. What do niggas do when they about to fight?
Right.
What do niggas do when they about to fight?
Some people do.
That's a sucker punch. When I'm about to fight, we push. That's what you do in the fight.
But that's Reggie.
If I pull out the knife and like, come on, that ain't enough to be like you in fear of your life. Like, stop.
Reggie. Everybody's statement that was consistent say that Melo was sitting down the whole time until Austin pushed, grabbed him, touched him, yanked him, whatever you want to say. They say he was sitting down the whole time. He never got up. But at the end of their statement, they all say that Melo was the aggressor. When the attorney asked him, well, who do you think was the aggressor? Was it Melo or was it Austin? All of them say Melo.
And look, here go the law in
And
Texas. I
how
don't think
could
they
you
got
be
like
the aggressor if you stand down and somebody put their hands on you?
here go
Answer
the
that.
law for here go the law for murder in Texas for those I don't like I said, I don't think they do all that. I think it's just flat murder and all that other shit. They give the grounds for what it is, but I don't see folks doing all that in Texas.
If the lawyer was doing his job, he wouldn't even let that question get asked in court. He would object to that. That's something
they had two different lawyers.
Lawyer would never let a witness give their opinion on something stupid like that. Who you think the aggressor was? Objection.
No, but I think like as much as they be like, oh, they people lawyers talk, they don't recommend the clients. No, fuck that. You take the stand. Now, if your client like will trip up on that motherfucker and further dig itself in a hole, now that's what it looks. I think it looks bad to not put a client on the fucking stand. If that nigga is so innocent.
Yeah, but they're kids too, though. This ain't just adults. We're talking about teenage kids.
You see, shit. What you got to lose? You got life facing you. Shit.
Yeah, you're already a murderer. Might as well try to get it off.
Talking self-defense. Now you really can tell this nigga did this, he did that. But they try to lead the burden of proof on prosecution. So they're like, fuck it, we ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah. Well, from the reports that I've seen, they had paid for a lawyer, then they stopped paying for a lawyer and ended up getting a public defender to finish the trial. So that's probably not.
I don't think that shit got nothing to do with it. Y'all niggas looking at money. No, y'all these niggas pocket watching. That's all they do.
The lawyer. Listen, they so stupid. They didn't know what. Look, this is a good family, bro. They don't know nothing about the court system and nothing what to do when you get in trouble. So guess who advice they took? One of the biggest coons of all, Charles. And he advised them what lawyer to go get.
How do you know that, bro?
From that area.
Who would listen to this? Barely start talking to that shit. Charleston ain't got nothing to do with it.
Hey, listen. The dad said today in the interview that he should have never took somebody advice on who to go get it. Charleston said to himself, I'm sorry for advising them that lawyer.
Nah, it wasn't Charleston. I think he was talking about the lawyer, and then it was that black dude that the father was talking about was he committed a crime against the kid or something. Like, nah, Charleston ain't
crazy. He advised him not to get a black attorney, bro.
And then hold on, we got James Harlan. Whenever you want to jump in, you just got to jump in, and we try to respect each other. Go ahead. Like when somebody talking, we just stay quiet. Go ahead, jump in.
Yeah, that attorney was garbage. The whole process was rigged against the young brother. You got to be able to defend yourself against aggressors, and you can't tell nobody how to defend themselves against someone who's being aggressive to them, especially if they're way bigger than them and larger, and you're not a fighter. You know, Anthony, that's the only person he probably ever stabbed in his whole life. He probably barely cut meat for himself. You know, so you can't tell somebody how they react against a violent force, and nobody wants to get ragged out and beat to death or beat up at all. So he was put in a position he shouldn't be put in. Definitely shouldn't have been sentenced to. He shouldn't have been charged, actually, because if we know if it was reversed, you know, they would have been saying what we say now, or what I say. You should have kept your hands to yourself. It would have been clear that the black dude should have kept his hand to himself instead of pushing the little white boy. And if he got stabbed, well, he shouldn't have been putting it. Then it would have been clear to anyone. It wouldn't have been an argument. But because it's a white dude, regardless to his history of violence and bad behavior and being suspended and all the things that could have been pointed to in that trial that wasn't, it's just horrible, man, because the brother don't deserve anything, and I hope he wins his appeal, or one of these presidents in the future pardons him, because he shouldn't be there. He did everything he's supposed to have did in life as a young person to keep himself out of that position, but it was forced upon him. That happens in life, you know what I'm saying? The unexpected happens. Nobody expect nobody to do nothing to them for nothing. but that's what happened to him. So I can't fault him for defending himself in any way that he chose necessary, because it was him who was being harassed by people, or one person, even if it was just one person that was way bigger than him. This stuff never happens to him. So he's not at fault at all. That's just my perspective.
Yeah, no, I don't know about all that, bro. I don't know about all that. Like
What you don't know about, bro?
He has to live with the decision that he made. Like, you decide somebody push you rather than you getting down with a person, and you take it to the extreme to pulling a weapon out, weapon that can cause deadly harm and the person actually dies. You got to live with that. You take it to court, you face the jury, and sometimes you got to settle on what they have. You go through the legal process. You put yourself in a legal position. And yeah, everybody got
Monday morning quarterbacking, bro.
Hold on. Everybody got a right to stand your ground. There's no doubt about that. And I think you should never have that stripped away from you, from your ability, even if you had to take a life. But you got to face that in court, and you got to be able to have a solid defense going into court. And if not, the verdicts play out like games. That's simply it.
But Reggie, his lawyer didn't talk to none of the witness before court, Reggie. You don't. What lawyer do that, Reggie? Come on, Reggie.
Nah, man.
So yes,
you trying to say
he said it was in the statement in court. He said it. Look.
Are you trying to say they gave a lawyer to sabotage his case?
That's what they trying to blame now. The parents trying to do that shit too.
It's true.
But like, true. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. We don't know what happened inside that courtroom, bro. But I don't know how the nigga walk away with 35 years with a manslaughter charge. Premeditated murder, bro. You gotta go through a lot to prove that shit.
But no, even what I'm showing you with Texas law, the law said they don't gotta be premeditated.
First degree murder is premeditated.
They don't do first degree murder. Every state got their
own. They said it was first degree murder.
Every state got their own guidelines to what murder is, bro. Some of them don't do this degree, that degree. They just cards what simple murder is. Manslaughter was what manslaughter is. This one says adequate cause, says mean cause, says that will commonly produce a degree of anger, rage, resentment, and terror in the person of ordinary temper, says sufficient to render mind incapable of cool reflection, says sudden passion, means passion directly caused by and arising out of a provocation, says that by the individual killed, or another acting with the person killed with passion arises at the time of the offense, says it is not solely the result of a form of provocation. So a person commits an offense if the person commits the offense, meaning murder, if the person intentionally or knowingly causes the death of an individual, intends to cause serious bodily harm or bodily injury, or commit an act clearly dangerous to human life. That's that knife shit. That's the way Texas is. Texas is real strict with their laws. You go do the wrong shit in that motherfucker and be done for life.
Okay, can I ask you a question? I'm not sure how tall or how big you are, but let's say someone as big as Shaq just come up to you and try to steal your cornbread, or just slap you upside the head and wants to continue to do damage to you or assault you. You might try to go head to head, saying man to man with somebody of that size and stature and athletic ability. Or if you had any kind of equalizer, would you use that equalizer, or would you just go ahead and Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali with him?
Man, well, he's gonna be dealing with a lot of that shit in prison, so he better be.
He gonna get his hands up.
He better be. They're gonna have his back in prison.
Huh?
They're gonna have his back in prison. The word already went down. Leave that little nigga alone.
It probably is, and they should leave him alone. They should let him do his time. But like, just to go off of his scenario, but the thing is, of what people bring in size, the size ain't that much greater between these two. These kids 215. They saying he like 170. He's a football player. He's an athlete. Like, come on, bro. Stop acting like he's just a defensive.
I thought that question was directly towards you and even the other members on the panel. If someone
is this before or after I go into Shaq's space?
What I'm saying is, if I'm 100 pounds bigger than you, you might as well be a Shaq nigga. And what I'm saying is, how would you personally, and even how would you suggest that your child at the moment in time? I mean, we're not talking about. I mean, in real time, if this is happening to you, will you defend yourself against that larger aggressor who's
Absolutely.
athletic? So
Yeah,
would
I
you
fought
defend
people
yourself the
big on
same
the
way he
key
did?
like shit.
Would you defend your? But if you are not a fighter, if you have no history of fights, you haven't been in fights, you can't fight.
Then I wouldn't tell
But
somebody
this,
to touch me and see what happens if I ain't got no.
Exactly, Max. I was gonna say the same shit.
He was proof
but
faking.
if you
He's like,
have
I
an
gotta go through with it
equalizer,
now.
if you have an equalizer, you still want to
I'm
be
not
a
gonna go
man
up
in
in
your
someone
life.
else's space, and when they tell me to leave, be like, "Nigga, touch me and see what happens."
But you know that
Nah, bro,
wasn't his
it was don't act
space.
like it was just that cool. Like
Yeah,
I
it
don't know
wasn't
if
his
y'all ever
space.
played track or whatever. I used to be on the track team, and we go up tripping
Yeah,
on
we all
niggas and
did. We would all go
be
to the other
beating up
side to
niggas
talk
and
shit.
shit. We used to do all that shit, fool. That shit
Most of the
happens.
time, it was in a
He
group
poked
setting, though.
he poked that nigga, and you gotta live with the
Hey,
consequences.
play
But
stupid games.
nah, it wasn't like he was out there slicing niggas and stabbing niggas, bro. You know what I mean, he backing nigga up off of him. He didn't try to kill him. Hit him in that sweet spot. That shit happens all the time.
And
People
you
die all
kill
the time by accident, and it's called manslaughter, not
That's
fucking
not an
first degree
accident if you try
murder.
to stab someone in the chest.
No,
That's not an
no, bro.
accident.
He was defending himself. It wasn't
it's
like a just.
no Texas laws ain't like California law, bro. All these states' laws ain't the same.
I know, but it's even still how it's written. He wasn't the aggressor. You know what I mean? That's what they're saying, like rage and all this shit. He used this
So
shit. You know what I mean?
if this was two black kids or two white kids, would we be having the same conversation, or is it purely
No, it
because of the
happens all the
race?
time. Kids get stabbed all the
No,
time.
but
This
this
girl
other
got
thing,
poked in the neck out here last week. Niggas get
exactly.
stabbed all the time, bro.
Yeah, it's the nigga. It's certain niggas want to make the shit black and white.
Yeah, the
Carmelo,
national attention is
look,
race
he's
shit.
just
Because
sick in
be,
Texas. There are probably a bunch of other black kids that have stabbed white kids at schools, and there's a bunch of other white kids that have stabbed black kids at Texas schools. There are Mexican kids who have stabbed black kids, Mexicans who have stabbed
Oh,
white
you know
kids,
that's what they do.
and they just have not gained this popularity. But they probably a bunch of cases sitting on the damn docket, or that have been already fucking made a decision on that have happened out here. This nigga ain't the only nigga going through that shit.
but he the only nigga that got stretched out like that, and that's the problem.
But we don't know that until you look at what niggas is facing. That ain't the truth.
Man, they barely charge kid a first offense, like first degree murder. That's crazy,
Man, you
bro.
better go watch that behind the line shit. Shit.
Yeah, like shit happened, but niggas, what I mean, shit be happening, bro. But for somebody to get stretched out like this, other kids be having priors and
I mean,
group
yeah, I feel
home
because
kids,
he was
shit
a
like
kid, he
that.
probably shouldn't have got 35,
He,
but they tried him as an adult because he was 17, so he's close enough.
I know. But still, though, that shit happened when he was a kid, though.
I think, yeah, the sentence is hard, but what he looking at life. But he can probably
No,
go in
bro, that's
there,
the
appeal
manslaughter
that
charge.
shit.
7 to 15 years, bro.
But
He'll
it's
probably
what
do 8 to 10 and walk that off.
35, 80%,
he
you
can
know,
probably
do
get that shit walked down,
20.
get his charges. Sorry, you can get the charge, but I don't think you can revert. Can you reverse murder charge?
Yeah, you get an appeal,
Oh,
so
you
you
get
get
a
some
new
up under that.
case.
He can
Yeah, you get a
appeal.
new
Yeah.
case.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He gonna need a
he
better
ain't
lawyer,
gonna
though.
walk. He ain't gonna go home. We all knew he was going to jail.
His parents gonna have to put up that house and that Escalade to get a better lawyer.
This was all in their pockets and shit.
It'd be crazy,
I'm
bro.
just saying, bro.
Both
Like,
they ass work. Both them niggas work.
if you know, that's all. I'm not saying that it came from the money they raised. I'm just saying in general, if your child's freedom is on the line, I mean, you better get in that 2-bedroom apartment and put the house up, baby. Like, what
No,
we
you ain't gotta
doing?
do
That's
all
real
that. You
talk.
know what I mean?
That's
They
real
took a
talk.
public
That's
defender
real
at
You ain't
the
talk.
gotta
end,
do all
though.
that, bro.
I'm
They're
not about
raising
to
his
get rid of
money.
none of my shit for no motherfucking kid. And hell no.
Unless you know your
Yeah.
kid's wrong.
Nigga, ain't no
No,
guarantee
you
for a lawyer. You gonna like no, it ain't
for
hell.
real.
You can't go with a public defender in a murder case, dog.
Man, I don't think the lawyer got nothing to do with it. I think the case just probably look bad. Like for that. That's why if they get an appeal, the next case needs to be made public. So The public.
Well, I know the shit's on tape. All these schools got cameras at every fucking angle, especially a big school like that. I know the shit's on tape.
No,
Someone got it.
There's a camera, but because they under that tent, I think that blocked out a lot.
Oh, it's hard to see. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Who knows if they? I didn't hear nobody say nothing about they got video footage from a kid. Because usually, I don't know if them kids on the track team be carrying their phones like that.
Yeah, they do.
Someone did. The parents did. They be video recording their kids and shit.
But no,
someone in
the
that
rain though,
bleachers.
because the rain probably had them.
Oh yeah, the rain
and shit. But they said the camera, a surveillance camera, just seen movement, but it was them niggas got those tents out and shit.
Man, it's sad, man. We just need to teach our sons to be anti-confrontational, man. Only resort to violence when absolutely necessary.
See that weapon shit is a Southern thing. Well, I can't say that now.
Nah, hell no.
Now everybody got weapons. But we came up.
That shit is a United States thing. That shit is a
nigga got to fight.
Yeah.
Bro. We grew up fighting. Sorry, the adults had guns and shit. Nigga might have a poker on him. I've been stabbed before, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. See, that's why
shit.
That's why with the LA shit, a lot of people bringing back like, oh, you got to catch the fade and like to put, and even like a lot of people, guns down, hands up, shit.
Yeah,
gloves up, guns down, shit like.
Yeah, but once violence starts, you can't tell the other person not be extra.
No,
violent.
I always think that shit is like weird when niggas bring weapons for a fight. Like if you that much of a bitch, then just turn the fight down. I never understood people bringing guns and wanting to stab people. That's like some of the most hoe ass shit I've ever seen. Like two of your homies.
Some niggas need to be shot. You're not going to be bigger than me and stronger than me and think just because you have that going with you that you're going to take my manhood or you're going to do anything you want to me. I will blow your fucking head off. What is you talking?
Hey, Reg,
you asking for it. You asking for it. You too big to be messing with me. Go mess with somebody your own size.
Yeah, you scared to fight.
All I heard from him is size. Yeah. Someone bigger than me.
Because it's a difference. I'm a fighter, dude. I'm a fighter. I ain't no stabber or no shooter. I don't mind knuckling up. You know what I'm saying? But everybody ain't like me. And no big nigga better not come to me with the shits. No big nigga better not come with me because if you're too big for me, I'm looking to pick up something to do you with. If I feel I can't beat you, if I feel that I cannot beat you straight up and up, and you bringing it to me, you gonna get it one way or the other.
James,
that's just how it's supposed to be.
So James, are you scared of people bigger than you?
Yes.
I'm not scared of nobody. Period. Point blank. If you bigger than me and you bring it and I don't have a weapon or whatever, I will fight you. But if I can do something extra will be done. But you're gonna get away from me one way or the other.
But so you willing to live if you have to go to prison? You willing to live if you lose the case? Then
I'd rather be like Karmelo Anthony, alive and breathing fresh air than being under the ground rotten.
Oh, there ain't no fresh air in prison, homie.
If somebody put me in that position that I don't want to be in, I don't want to be in that position. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. But it happens, and Metcalf brought that position to Anthony. You know, Anthony was doing fine in his life. He didn't need that, didn't want that. But someone else bring it, and that's how life is. People bring ruckus to your life, and you have to handle it the best way you can at that time. And nobody can tell you anything because it's not them.
Yeah, I heard a quote about the weapon shit where somebody was saying, some niggas will say niggas is bitches for bringing guns and knives when motherfuckers trying to fight. You know what I'm saying? But on the other hand, his uncle, the dude's uncle, told him, or maybe you the bitch because you trying to fight and these niggas trying to kill. Like it's two sides of the coin, bro. It depends on where you at. Some people think that you want to fight. Some motherfuckers ready to take your life, bro, and you don't get to decide the rules when the shit pop off.
No, that's why I think it's like a lot of fights should be avoided. Like especially
absolutely,
like a lot of, or if there's a bunch of motherfuckers, it ain't head up, it's a group over it. Like avoid this shit.
You want a one-on-one? Go get in the ring.
Somebody you gotta have people to break and diffuse shit. You can't listen to a bunch of instigating motherfuckers and They're the ones who run away. They cry. Somebody lose their life and shit.
Yeah.
Like it's just best, especially for
Because
younger.
even on the other side
And
of thing, with no weapons involved, what about the motherfuckers that knock niggas out and still stomp their head in when they're already asleep? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
Yeah,
motherfuckers is ready to go
Exactly.
there. You
that's
never
what I'm
Oh,
know.
saying.
just
Like
one push.
I can't judge him for having a knife or poking niggas, get them off him. Like I know niggas get down like that, but you know what I mean. You gotta deal with that consequence also. But
Yeah.
he probably didn't think it was gonna be nigga a couple of decades. He got basketball numbers and shit. I didn't think he didn't think that. Nobody thought that.
I mean, if it was a gun, it'd be the same outcome, bro. Like, you shot somebody. Oh,
No,
I
if
didn't
it
mean to
was a
kill him.
gun,
You
it'd be
shot him though.
different. It'd be different. Knife fight, man. Knife fights happen all the time.
niggas
Like,
died
It's,
from the knife
it's,
too. Niggas died from that
dog,
shit.
that motherfucker stabbed
That's
him in the heart, bro.
That's attempted murder. You stab somebody, it's attempted murder, bro. Same as the gun.
yeah.
And then
He didn't
JC,
stab him in the arm or nothing,
wait,
slice him. He stabbed him in the heart.
wait, Max, let me say this to JC. It's saying your device not connected. You probably got to go through the audio thing. But go ahead, y'all.
I mean, you could take it away with this. Suppose it was one of our daughters. Suppose it was your daughter. Your daughter weighed 120 pounds, but we got
Here
Big
you go with this
Bertha
size shit again.
because the same principles apply. The same principles apply. Do you want Big Bertha to ragdoll, rip your daughter face off because she cute? Because she cuter than her? And the day she just feel like I'm tired of this pretty bitch, I'ma fuck her up. Do you want your daughter to protect herself against Big Bertha, or just let Bertha tear her face off?
No, I'll be like, avoid Big Bertha, big ass. Are you ready to live with this
There's
shit?
no avoidance. There's no avoidance. Big
My
Bertha's
daughter's with
here
me.
today.
My daughter's here with me right now. She's in high school. I've always told her not only to not get in fights. I say when you see motherfuckers fighting at school, go the other way because someone might pull out a burner. And this is Selena's motherfuckers do that shit. There was a shooting like her second week of school, and I'm like, because you just watching a fight could get you in some shit. Could get you trampled, shot, whatever the fuck. They might think you with them. Like I know it might be fun to see some motherfuckers fight. Watch that shit later on the internet, bro. Get the fuck away from it.
My
Man.
premise is the unavoidable. There's no ifs, there's no buts
But it can't
about
be
it. This
unavoidable when
shit is
you're the one
happening.
walking up to the group of people that don't want you
There is
there.
situations. There is situations where girls do pick on other girls because they're jealous. He's
Yeah, it
right,
happens for sure.
but we don't. You know what I mean? Like you tell your daughter to fight, but she get ragdolled. Somebody better break that shit up.
Maybe, maybe not.
You would
Maybe
hope so.
maybe they're too scared. Maybe they're too scared to interrupt Big Bertha.
But take your ass home.
But
So
if they
you
go to
think
the
all
football
big people
game,
should be dead? He
but
want
if they
all
go to
big
the
people
football
dead.
game, I wouldn't tell my daughter to go sit right next to Big Bertha and hope nothing happens.
Big Bertha bringing it to her is what I'm saying. She
Yeah,
coming from
that
West
does
So,
happen.
Bubblefuck.
That bully
oh,
shit
so
She
does
so
coming
happen.
from
all the white
wherever.
boys
She
came down and
sees
sat and
she
surrounded
sees her.
Carmelo. I didn't hear that part.
Say again.
So all
No,
the
what
white
I'm
boys
saying is
came and sat down and surrounded Carmelo.
right because they wasn't under the tent when he was there. They came from
No, I'm saying
wherever.
so. Who was there first and who came to the area?
All right. Carmelo
Carmelo
was there.
was there. They
Yeah,
seen him. Then they came over to him. It's like the same scenario that I'm trying to, present. He didn't bring it to them. They brought it to him out of nowhere. It's no ifs and buts about it. He had to deal with it right then and there. There was no go call a teacher and I'm all none of that.
right.
Yo, he
If he had a
poking,
problem
bro.
with him being under there, if he was
He shouldn't
searching,
have killed
why
him.
he didn't go
He
to the
probably
coach?
wasn't trying to kill him. And shit happens, bro. Like we can't sit here and justify this nigga killing him, bro. He killed him, and there's consequences for that. Not 35 years. I think that's need to be the argument and objective. Like, bro, you
Yeah, I
don't get
think
to stab nobody and fucking walk away. Like, you know what I mean?
Suppose
Point
it's
blank,
more than one
period.
though. Suppose
It's still,
when
bro,
the
but
video
like we have to
comes out,
prove that this nigga was packing him out, even if a confrontation. You know what I mean? You don't get to stab nobody, bro.
suppose when the video comes out, he was getting jumped.
yeah, it's self defense.
Yeah,
Then
that's
then
cool.
then it's
And
self-defense, right?
if he went to jail for that, that's bullshit. And somebody
Yeah,
need to say something about that. They
for
need to
sure.
say
Listen,
that. Like, if that happened, they need to say that. The parents,
listen,
they should know
listen.
everything that happened.
But he had horrible representation. His parents like you said, I ain't gonna say that they was dummy, but they was not educated at all to allow that that defense to not defend their son during that trial. He just didn't defend him. The judge, it was bad. It was just bad all the
Y'all
way
niggas
around
is
for him.
crazy, man.
See, y'all laughing, but small towns, all these judges and lawyers know each other, bro. And whether they prosecutors or defenders, I got a home. My best friend is a lawyer, bro. You know what he told me, bro? He do murder cases out here, bro. You know what he told me? Sometime they tell him, come up to him and be like, "Hey, bro, let me get him and I'll do you a favor on the next one." He'd be like, "Man, I ain't down with that shit."
Hey,
Yeah, fuck
Reg.
it,
That's the
right.
game they play out here in the
Hey,
South, bro.
Reg, can I show you something real quick? You don't think it's about race, but look at your chat. Look at the white boy Andrew, John, and Dakota all talking about what the AB, the Aryan Brotherhood, is going to do to that brother in Penn. Everything is about race, bruh. So don't think it wasn't. That's why they made sure it was an all white juror to convict this brother. But
I
that's
don't think
all
it
I'm
was
gonna
an
say,
all-white
man.
juror.
Well, in the pen, for sure, it's
a
about
non-black
race.
juror.
That's why they had all the gag artists, everything secret. Everything was secret. If you want everything, if you want to say this not about race, all right,
Well, I
open the
mean,
door and let everybody in.
most trials that involve minors are pretty
They
well kept
tried
under
him as
wraps.
an adult. They
Hey,
tried him as
wasn't
an
it a
adult.
Swiss
No
Army knife?
minor. He was tried
We also got to
as
figure out what
an
kind of
adult,
knife it
not a
was
minor.
too.
He was tried as an adult, but he's still a minor in the
All
victim
of
still,
them
bro.
are adults now. That happened 2 years ago.
Hey, what kind of knife was it? Was it a Swiss Army knife?
It was a 3
No, it
inch.
was like a
No,
knife that
it was
flipped
one of
up.
those
You know, the
pocket tool
blades that
knives
flip
with all with
around.
the screw and the little blade
Yeah,
and
that's
the
a
other
Swiss Army
little
knife.
the 4-5 little different
No,
switches
it
on
wasn't
Yeah,
it.
a
that's a
Swiss
Swiss
Army
Army
knife.
knife.
It's one of them nice niggas whip out when they about to stab your ass with.
No, they said it's one of them knives with all the shit on it.
Yes,
No,
that's what it
no, it
was.
wasn't.
A
I,
utility.
That was misinformation. That's what
No, it
Charles
wasn't,
White
Red.
put out.
They said it was that type of knife, Red.
No, it wasn't. There's a drawing sketch. That's what the niggas been putting all this bad information put out.
They showed the blade that he used to cut it with, to stab him, but they ain't show the other parts of it.
3 inches, bro.
I just looked it up. They said it was a
That's a Swiss
And
Army
they
knife,
$13
didn't
bro.
pocket
show the
knife.
actual knife they used. They showed a duplicate of it in
The
court.
3
One
inches,
just
bro.
like
That's a Swiss Army knife. You know how big 3 inches is? That's not even a cigarette.
was illegal.
You know we don't gotta guess
Each
about
state
it. The
got
shit's on the
each state
internet.
got their own law. What's legal for illegal carrying and what's considered a knife size. In the state of Texas, the law say anything under 5 inches is legal.
Yeah. And Cali
So
is 6
Yeah,
inches.
he got it from Walmart. It was three and a half. They have a picture of it
from
on
a
right now
gas
online.
station, they sell them at gas stations. It's the
Now,
little
how many
pocket gas.
murderers you know want to walk around with that?
A
A
3
lot,
inch knife.
a
A
lot.
3 inch
I'm in,
knife, bro. Well, niggas
bruh.
stab you with a pencil. It
Yeah,
Bro,
don't
these
matter,
people
Yeah, I'm
bro.
in
walk around with
California,
guns
bro.
out
Like,
here all
motherfuckers
day.
Dilla,
stabbing
you can
motherfuckers.
kill a
Carmelo
nigga
lives
by
in an
stabbing him
open
in the
carry
artery.
state,
If
bro.
the knife gonna hit the heart, it hit this nigga heart.
Yeah.
You can
Hey,
hit
remember,
You
this
probably hit
motherfucker's
him
all
in,
about
veins.
kind of poke
size,
him in the
bro.
You can
stomach or
hit
something.
How
arteries
did
and
it?
veins and kill somebody, bro.
Yo,
How
if that
did it hit his
somebody
heart
get
and
down,
nobody
they
knew
bring
it?
in the biggest
Listen how
knife in the
crazy this
kitchen.
sounds. Picture
If it
this.
wasn't a machete, he shouldn't have got no time.
Hey, picture this. How did it hit his heart and nobody seen him stab him? Out of all the witnesses, they say he got stabbed, but they couldn't see it.
So now the
You know why?
stab wound is fake.
You know
It
why?
was
No, you know
assassination.
why?
The
You know
motherfucker
why? You know
died.
why you can't see it? You know
Somebody
why
threw
you
a knife
can't
from
see it?
across the other side of the field. Then.
Yeah.
No. You know
Now
why?
you were the
You know
conspiracy
why? You
theorist,
know why
dude.
you can't see it? Because old boy was all on top of him, bro. It was a upward. The examiner say it was an upward motion stab.
So they probably didn't even see it. He probably didn't even
That's
see
why
it.
they didn't see it, because old boy was all on his ass. He was getting
Yeah,
him off.
3 inches, bro. That's
And they
small.
say only only 2
3 and a
inches.
half. 3 and a half. Give him
And,
the extra
and
half.
that's how long the knife was. But only 2
bro, that's
inches.
not
It
even
only
bigger than a cigarette,
took 2
bro.
inches to kill him. It was
And
two
Probably
that's
just
inches.
all
as
it
big as a
need. That's all
cigarette.
you need, bro.
Right. Right.
Hey, in the wise
Yeah, but
words of
who's
Sean
gonna
Price, rest
intentionally
in
walk
peace.
around with that to hurt somebody? Who has it in their mind to walk around
Why do
with
you
a
have it
Swiss?
on you? It's to hurt somebody.
Because you are
It's to
track,
No.
you are a track athlete, and they use that
So
as
you
a
have a
tool.
A pocket knife? It wasn't a tool. It wasn't
And what
a
they
cleat
should
No,
have
tool.
bro, we
done
gotta
was,
figure out what kind of knife it was, bro. I ain't never seen no
Bruh,
3 inch
Google it right
pocket knife. You
now,
got a
bruh.
right.
box
It's a
cutter?
pocket knife.
I never seen a 3 inch
I'm
knife,
looking
bro.
at it right now. I can't share nothing, but I'm looking at the
Has
knife.
anyone
I'll
ran
pull it up,
track
Bruce. I'll pull it up. I'll
that
pull it up.
they know that any person these days that's young and ran track, let's ask them, do they use any kind of tools for their cleats? And if the answer
Yes.
is yes, I
Yeah,
use some kind of sticking thing. Yes, right? So
yeah.
that's
Yes, but it's
justification
not a
for
pocket
having
knife.
it.
We had
What I'm
tools all
saying
the
is,
way back in the 90s for our cleats.
but there may be a variety of tools different athletes use that's similar for
It's
for that
not
Right, they
for
more
this.
that specific
advanced now.
purpose.
Bro,
What I'm
misinformation is at
saying is,
all time high, bro. It's crazy.
Well, even with
Shit
those
is
tools, I don't think
online,
the
bro.
athletes going around where they may have an equipment manager,
That ain't no fucking cleat
a
tool,
coach
bro.
carrying that shit.
That's the knife he had.
Yes.
Yeah.
That ain't for no
Damn.
cleats, nigga.
They got a shiv. 3 inch
Bro,
knife. I ain't never seen no
you
knife
can't let
that's
the color of someone's skin blind your fucking thought process, bro. It's crazy.
it's
I
not
didn't
about
see
the
this
color of the
knife.
skin, bro. That's what the media is doing, and that's what the jujitsu suit, that's what the justice system in Texas did. It's not me, bro. Because if Anthony was big and strong and all that, and he going up and beating up on white boys, I'm not in that nigga camp. No, hell no, nigga. Mind your motherfucking business. Leave people alone. I be
Right.
saying the same shit. So it
Keep
ain't
your
about no
hands to
white or black.
yourself.
It's about right or wrong. It was wrong for that Metcalf boy to go over there and try to bully him. It is not just like it was his
No, it
first
wasn't.
rodeo doing that
No,
with
it wasn't.
people.
That's
It's
sports shit.
evidence saying that's what
That's
he do.
sports shit.
No, ain't no
That's
sports
the
shit. This nigga beat up his own daddy. That ain't
Yeah,
no sports shit. What sport is that?
Broke his
What the fuck
collarbone.
sport is that?
I beat up
that's
my
different
dad.
than this.
Fuck that nigga.
That's different than this.
Would you beat your own
You
father
broke your
up?
damn collarbone,
Hell
Deuce?
yeah, he's a bitch.
Well, the
I do it
father don't say
again.
why he hate the kid. The father hurt. Shit.
And guess what? And guess what? I don't care how hurt you are. All that watermelon shit, man. Fuck that shit, man. That shit don't slide here. That shit never slide, nigga. You handle your business like a man. When you see that man, you go handle your business. All that fucking watermelon talk, nigga. That shit don't
Well,
ride
you
with
go
me.
talk that shit to a Shaq nigga. You go talk to a
Anyone
Shaq nigga talking
was
that
that
shit.
watermelon talk, and guess what? The rest of them out here think they could say that shit, nigga, get jacked up. I'm telling you.
No, go up to a nigga bigger than you, 100 pounds more than you, just as athletic as you, and then talk that shit. Until then,
Hey,
yo, all
James,
you doing is
can
bumping
I
your
ask
gum.
you something? What happened
Boy,
when you
you
fought
talking that, boy, you talking that
Hold on,
coward
hold
shit,
on.
boy. Who you talking
James,
to?
Ain't no
James,
coward shit. Ain't no
You
big nigga
talking
got
to,
no
boy?
business
Talk
fucking with
about
me.
Daniel
First
hey
of
Cormier,
all,
boy.
ain't
James,
nobody
Man,
got
James,
no
shut up,
business
boy.
fucking with
James,
me.
You fucking
James,
whole ass
James, hey
nigga.
I'm
James,
listening.
hold
I'm
on,
You ain't got
Matt,
listening.
no
hey
heart,
Matt,
nigga.
hey, hold on.
I'm listening.
Hey
I'm
James,
listening.
what
Nigga, I
happened?
fought a world champ, nigga.
Wait, Matt, hold on. So James, tell the story about you and the guy bigger than you fighting. Like what happened?
Yo,
Getting
I
off
There's
his
fought
some
chest.
big
trauma.
niggas my whole life. I'm a little nigga, so I don't mind fighting the big. I
Oh,
don't
that
want to
explains
fight no
it.
big
But did they
motherfucker.
hurt you? Did you
I
get
don't
hurt by
want to
the
fight. Listen. I
Oh,
done
this
had
nigga was
enough
bigger than
street
me.
fights. Listen, I'm not a ring fighter. I'm a street fighter, and I knock motherfuckers the fuck out my whole life. Anybody who motherfucking know me can testify that, be it up north or down south. I don't
Nigga,
mind
I
getting
fought
down.
a
What I'm
UFC champ. You
what
ain't
I'm saying
shit,
is
nigga.
this: I ain't shit. You right, so don't fuck with me because I will fuck you up. I will
You
kill
ain't
you.
shit,
I
nigga.
will
I'll
kill your
punish you
big
on this
boxing
bitch ass.
expert ass the fuck up if I could. If I could,
Brothers.
I might get beat down, but I might get beat down. But if I don't
And that's
feel
why
like it that day,
Russell
I'm gonna
lost his
stab the
life
shit out you.
talking that shit
That's
like
how that
that.
shit works.
Niggas,
You shouldn't be
and you see,
fucking with me. If I
that's
don't
how
feel
it
it,
happened.
you,
Niggas want to
you might
challenge a
get a
nigga and they
one-on-one on
call
a
niggas
regular
out.
day.
Nobody
But
was
just
talking to
one
your
day,
bitch
I
ass.
might
Hey
not feel
James,
like it and be like, go
James,
on about your
James.
business. Go on about your
Hey,
business,
hold on, let me
Mr.
mute.
Gold Glove nigga. Go on about your business. And if you don't go, that
Right. Hold on, James. You gotta let him talk. Go ahead, Matt. And then Pittsburgh T in the building. Let him. We gotta let each other talk. Go ahead, Matt. Matt, you talking? All right, go ahead, Pitt.
Nah, keep that nigga on mute. He's mad.
And then
Hey,
James, when y'all ready to come off mute, come off mute. Go ahead, Pitt.
hey, well, salute to all y'all fellas. That young man was under a tent that was not his. I understand that track is real loose, that they kind of like mingle and all that stuff. But the simple fact that he was there, it wasn't like It shouldn't have been a shot to him for somebody to ask him to leave. Rain or no rain or none of that. So that's not bullying. He's not at a spot he's supposed to actually be at. And it was multiple people. It was even black kids that told that young man to leave. Like that Metcalf kid pushing him, obviously wrong. His reaction, obviously wrong. Like I don't get when we start doing this thing. Sometimes what we do, we start making people that are doing wrong things. We try to make them right, and we try to make everything about race. Because I didn't hear nothing about that white boy calling the black boy any kind of names or anybody else saying anything racial. It came racial after when the media got a hold of it and it got into court. That's the only racial part of it. The actual incident itself had nothing to do with race. It was just kids making bad decisions, and one of them lost their life.
James, you got to come off of mute. You on mute. There you go.
Yeah, I could agree with everything that brother.
Make sure you let
I can agree with what he said. And my point is this: you can't expect people how to react against aggression, unwanted, unexpected aggression. You can't expect them to pull out a book and be like, okay, what do I do? Let me turn to page 57 and find the answer. It just don't work like that. When stuff happens, you know what I'm saying? Listen, as a boxer, y'all plan your fight, y'all train for your fight. You already know what's gonna happen. When you just a regular person out here in this world and a nigga bring it to you, you gotta deal with that shit instantaneously. And if you're not used to fighting nobody, you might know that you can't fight. But you know that you're a man and you're not gonna allow anybody to just do anything to you or take your manhood because they feel like it. I'm 17 years old. I got my whole life ahead of me. I'm doing the right thing, but I'm a man. I'm going to protect myself, and I'm going to protect anybody who I love against any kind of aggression with this little 3-inch knife if I have to. So when you bring it to me, the day ain't your day, homie. Leave me alone. If I tell you that and you still keep it pushing my way, I'm gonna back you up. And that's what Anthony did. So I don't have no fault with him. I don't have no fault with him. I don't think he should have been in jail because he didn't act to be put in that position. He shouldn't have been put in that position. The person who put him in that position was a monster. Any nigga who could just beat up his own pops and beat up everybody in school and just beat up and just do what the fuck he want to do and feel like that's how it's supposed to be all the time. Yeah, he need to be motherfucking 6 feet underground because he ran into the wrong one. He didn't stop. Ain't nobody stopped him. That's the only way you stop a bully is to fight back.
But James, we don't know if that's true. That's the internet gossip that he beat up his daddy, so we don't even know if that's true. He just pushed him.
That's true.
That wasn't bullying.
That's true. You don't know if it's true. You don't know if it's true.
Jay,
you have to cite an actual source. Like all of this stuff that we getting is go ahead. I'll just say this, Max. A lot of this stuff is rumors. The fact of him being suspension, that's not been confirmed that he's suspended. The fact that the boy beat up his dad, we don't know that. Like it's a lot of stuff that's out.
Why don't you just say you, bro? Why don't you just say you?
You have to cite a source. Well, provide a source then, James.
Let him finish his reply and then you can respond to it.
Yeah, well, I'll just say it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff out that it's a lot of rumor, and we don't have an actual source of these things. If people want to believe them and hold on to them like they're fact, that's cool. But I would say that none of that stuff has anything to do with that situation because the boy pushed him, and in the same motion he came back with a knife. And knives aren't allowed in school. They're kids, they're children. They're not like us adults where somebody run up on you can do whatever you want. You're not supposed to have a knife in school. So that eliminates all of that from the beginning. And once you do that, now you introduce the law into it. That's why the law had to get involved with it. At worst, they're supposed to have a fight, and that's supposed to be the end of that. It ain't supposed to be that. I'm sorry, Max, cut you off.
No, I mean you're right because I actually got zero in California. They call it zero tolerance. I got a suspended zero tolerance to have a knife on campus. I actually got expelled. But no, what I'm saying is that I think he's about to go to a place, or he's in a place now where the shit he pulled, you ain't gonna be able to do. You ain't gonna be able to go sit at the other side's table. Leave. I ain't leaving. Touch me. See what happens.
I thought I was gonna react to what he said.
No, I'm just saying like now that he's going to prison, he's not gonna be able to just walk up and sit at anybody's table. And when they tell him, "Hey, get out of here," 15 times, he ain't gonna be able to say, "Nah, I'm not doing it. Touch me. See what happens." Like. That's just common sense. Like, yes, I do believe like, hey, it's high school. Maybe I don't think there's any rules against him
Have you
sitting
been to
there.
prison, yo?
But like, I've been to jail, and
Have
I
you
know you
been to
can't sit at
prison?
a table that's not your table.
Have you been to prison?
I've been to jail. I have not been to prison, but I know the
California
Okay,
rules.
only
but
where
you
the
might
stupid
not.
ass racial
You
politics
might not
play at,
want to.
bro.
You
Yeah,
might
California
not
he
only
want
can't.
to
where
He ain't
speak
gonna.
that
on
He
shit
the
ain't gonna
like
sit.
that.
subject.
He
You
ain't
don't
gonna
know
go sit
nothing
at the
about.
whites, the Mexicans, or anyone else's table. And when they tell him to leave, he need to get up. He ain't gonna sit there and be like, nah, touch me, see what happens. Bet that's not gonna happen.
Okay, but before this happened, he was sitting in bleachers at a track meet that he was invited to, and he was a participant. It's not abnormal for track athletes to be under other tents than their school. Their school didn't have their tent up yet, and it was testified that he was invited underneath that tent, and
You
things
know
were
that.
fine until someone. Things were fine until someone came from wherever they came from and started the ruckus. And as far as evidence about Metcalf's fighting his daddy and the bullying and the fighting, that was part of the mishandling of his case by his so-called defense. They never put Metcalf, they never put his character on in evidence. Anything wrong that he did, and there were some things that he did wrong in his life, a lot of them, even recent suspensions that they just didn't do. So his defense did an inadequate job of defending Anthony and bringing up the improprieties of Austin. So, and listen, I don't advise anyone to just go up and do anything to people just because you feel like it. Whatever rationale you want to use, I don't think you should be trying to impose your will on grown people, young people, anybody. Because if you do, there could be some repercussions that you weren't expecting. You weren't expecting in the family and the whole world. Because everybody ain't just about allowing themselves to be in danger.
Yeah, but he wasn't in danger. And as far as the invite, it was the other kid that invited him. And that's just the that's more so he spoke. No, that
Man, you
coach
got to
didn't get up
stop
and say,
being
I told
dismissive, man.
that no coach told no adult that was there at that scene told that child that he could be over there. That's more of the environment. That coach spoke to the environment of track.
Okay.
Anybody
So
that's
what
run
should have
track,
happened then?
knows track. No, hold on.
What should have happened?
Hold on. Hold on.
Let's say
You
you're
said he
right.
was
What should have
invited.
happened? What
I
should have
told you from the
happened?
beginning. I told you from the beginning that first of all, he should have just got up and walked away. He should have left. That should have been the first thing. Since he didn't do that, the other boy didn't have the right to put his hands on. They should have fought.
You
There should have been
know,
no weapon involved in that. You
Monday
can't bring a
morning
weapon to
quarterbacks
school.
never lose.
No, you just asking me,
Monday
bro.
morning
How you gonna
quarterbacks
ask me
Hey,
to call
never
me a Monday
lose.
morning quarterback,
You
bro?
talking about what he
No,
should have
no,
did, bro? That's
no.
Monday
You
morning.
just literally asked me that.
Pitt. Let me say this. Let me say this for the people
Go
on the
ahead.
panel. Like, we don't do that over here. We let other people talk, regardless. You don't like what they make as a statement. Hold your thought, respond. And then Ty, when you in here, I'm not gonna say talk next, just jump in the conversation. But when somebody get the floor, let them talk. We listen to each other. That's the conversation. A lot of that. This is the issue I be having with I mainly talk to black folks, but it's in general in conversation. We love talking over somebody. When you don't like what they say, you interrupt them. Like, let them talk. Go ahead, Pitt. Even when I do that shit, correct me on that shit, because I'm guilty of it sometimes. But go ahead. Go ahead, Pitt.
Got you, big dog.
I'll say this in closing. Like, look, neither one of them kids was right, but that should have been a fight. Once you introduce a weapon, you change everything. That's a school event. That's not the streets, bro. That's the only thing that changes this whole thing. That's school. And those aren't adults, those are children. And one child lost his life. That should have never happened. None of that should have never happened. When you introduce a weapon, be a gun, brass knuckles, whatever it is, all of that is wrong. You escalated everything to another level that it should have never been to. And if he wasn't bullied at all. That's not bullying because you're somewhere and somebody says, hey, what are you doing over here? That ain't bullying. You ain't supposed to be there. That's obvious.
That's not how it went though.
Go ahead. Speak.
It's
Go
just
ahead.
not how it went. Yeah, it's not
All
how it
right.
went. And you can't
So
say it's just a fight. You just minimizing someone else's aggression. You can't do that. You can't just be sitting at a bus stop minding your business and somebody coming up to you and slapping you and you say, oh, well, it's just a slap. Everybody ain't getting with that. People are not just going to let you harm them and it's just, oh, it's nothing. You can't expect everybody to react the same way. And your statement is saying it's supposed to be just guidelines on what to do against something, because he could have pushed them on that wet, slippery day. Anthony could have fell back and bust his head against the bleachers. He could have killed them with one push. So you just can't say
coulda, woulda, shoulda.
It's
okay. Now I'm Monday morning quarterback.
Yeah, go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, what I'm saying is we all can Monday morning quarterbacks. I've never seen anybody lose.
Somebody new to the panel.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, appreciate it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm being respectful and waiting and whatnot. But it's a lot of it's a lot of lies going around, and you know that's not the events that happened that day. Now, if it would have happened like that, I could have kind of seen it, but that's not really how it happened. And I'm going off of what the victim's brother stated. Back a year ago, he did an interview, and at any time, if y'all want to on a live, we can bring up the interview. I got the timestamp when he explained exactly what happened under there, and nobody is even bringing up the fact that the altercation started originally with Hunter and Karmelo, and that's coming from Hunter. That's the interview that he said a year ago. I got the video and I got the timestamp if y'all want to get into that, and we can hear it from Hunter's mouth, you know, from him.
No, you can explain it. We don't got to do all that, the playing the video stuff.
Okay. Well, Hunter did an interview on Fox News, and he said that he was sitting down. He said when he heard he said he looked back and he seen that a kid that he didn't recognize, and he said that the kid was saying some inappropriate stuff, and he addressed the kid first, and he said that his brother Austin stepped in. So it was already a 2-on-1 situation, and nobody is even talking about the fact that it started between Karmelo and Hunter. So kind of like with me, I'm thinking when people say, oh, they could have bopped it out. Well, the original bop would have been with Hunter and Karmelo. Austin interjected himself into that.
Yeah, brothers. That's what brothers are probably gonna do.
So from what sorry. No, just to be clear. So from what I heard, Karmelo went under the tent because it started raining on the other school side or area. Then the twin brother asked him what he was doing there. Karmelo was talking shit. You know, I'm getting at rivalry school, probably talking some shit about everyone being trash. They asked him to leave up to 15 times from what was said, and then the brother pushed him to start the shit, and then dude got stabbed. Is that the basis?
Well, from what I heard, you know, Hunter said that, you know, it was some jawing going back and forth between him and Karmelo in the beginning, and then Austin stepped in. Now I get what people saying, you know, well, that's what twin brothers do. Okay, well, understand what that's what twin brothers do, but at the same time, we've turned this into a 2-on-1 situation off gate. Just if we can all just agree on that part right there, it's already 2-on-1 right there.
Hell no, I don't agree on that shit.
What? From that point, if all right, let me put it like this: if my man is into it with somebody, and I interject, and I get involved, right now it's me and my man's against whoever he talk. I mean, that's just facts. I can picture this. Y'all can't picture that?
No, because you jump.
On no other team side talking shit.
So how's that any
that's crazy.
How's that any different than being at like a Raider Niner game?
They ain't gonna tell you to leave. Like fuck no. Like that was dumb in itself.
Now, what about the fact that
them kids changed their statements multiple times? Like that's the other part. All them kids was reliable. Every kid that testified contradicted themselves all the time. The only thing that they said that was consistent that someone asked that boy to leave. Now, the actual statements and the minutia of it, you can go through the transcripts and you can look at it. Even Hunter, with his different interviews, he changed what what happened and who initiated that. He changed that. So those kids were not always all telling the whole accurate truth. So like
And that
we know some of the facts we know for a fact. Some of the like what happened, who initiated, we can all assume that Austin, the boy who's no longer here, initiated the contact with the young man who ended up stabbing. We can all say that happened. The other stuff that happened, you had to take the eyewitness, and I don't know how reliable that is. That's up to you to believe what they said and what they didn't say, because it's been contradicted.
in my opinion, you know, and I like to try to call it down the middle as much as possible. Like I try to call it down the middle or not at all. But I believe that if they jawing back and forth and Carmelo get up and he go down some steps and he approach them and then somebody gets that, okay, now we looking at a different situation. He approached, they jawing and he approached them and stabbed. Okay, now we looking at a guilty verdict. He did, he provoked it. But when they approach you and you still in a seated position, I mean, I don't know how many people could have people come up and approach them and put their hands on them and still be in a seated position. I mean, to me, in my opinion, up until the stabbing part, he did a decent job. I'm not gonna say stellar because stellar mean he should have walked away. And in my opinion, both boys had an opportunity to walk away. Austin could have went and got somebody, could have got a coach, anybody with authority involved in that. And they chose not to. Both boys chose not to.
So I mean, I feel like it comes down to like legality and then like morality, right? Like legally, he's probably allowed to sit there. There's probably no rules saying you can't sit on the other team's side. But like we all know how we've all been in high school sports. When there's rivalries, usually it's their side, our side. And if you do go to the other side, you be talking shit to them. I mean, it's the equivalent of being like a Niner Raider game. You're surrounded by the opposite fans, and you still talking shit. And then like the Spurs fan, I got hit. I mean, shit happens. Not a smart decision. It may not be right, but if you're there, and then they start getting at you, and you talking shit back and forth, and it seems like you're about to go there, then yeah, you could leave, or you can say fuck it, fuck around and find out. And then they found out, and now he's finding out.
Yeah, and then and then the touch me and find out. I'm not sure exactly where that came in, but other
That's
accounts
a
say
that's a
other
statement. That's what I'm
accounts.
saying. Go ahead, brother. I
Yeah,
was just saying a statement. That's a statement that we don't know.
yeah, but other accounts from courtroom testimony said that Carmelo stated, "Hey, we cool as long as you don't put your hands on me." And I mean, like where I come from, not even where I come from, and kind of in black culture, I might want to say when we say stuff like touch me and find out, that's not necessarily a threat. In my opinion, that's a warning. That's hey man, don't put your hands on me, man. Like you can
So,
talk all the talk you want to talk, but hey, touch me and find out. Like that's a warning. That's how I look at it.
so what?
But
So
that's
now it
not.
comes down to what is the find out part? Because they said when he made that statement, he had his hand in his backpack already. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
and
was clutching. He was clutching.
and
So now if you're
and
saying
that's
that in the moment, fuck around and find out. That means in your mind, in your brain, you're like, all right, if this dude or these dudes start jumping me or doing something, here's what I'm gonna do, which includes grabbing his knife and stabbing niggas. So you can't say it's not murder.
and,
but I
and,
mean,
oh, go ahead.
but we gonna act like all of us are men. We all been in fights in high school. Like I don't think it's hard to get out of high school without fights, outside, inside high school. It just don't matter. The idea that you can't just get in a fight or get jumped, because people get jumped. I got jumped. I'm pretty sure other people get jumped. Like you just like your life gonna be over because you get jumped and you gotta have a
Yeah,
knife on you. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. Like once you pick up this, make that decision to get a knife, then that's different. Because you're not supposed. That's a whole different thing, and that's the problem with all this. We keep escaping this because these are children. These ain't no regular people. They're not adults. They're children at a school event. So it changes the whole
I
complexity.
don't agree
The
with
statements that
it's
they
gonna be
made, we
jump.
just don't know if they true. Because
I
I
don't
don't know
agree
if
with
that
yeah,
that.
boy said that. I don't know if that boy
but
actually said fuck around and found out, because I've heard contradictions to that. So like the statements from these children, what I'm saying, they're not reliable. It don't matter which side you believe. These kids have told multiple versions of the same thing. The same kid told you two different stories. So I don't know how much of this you believe. The only facts we know is what happened, what he got pushed and he got stabbed. That's what we know for a fact.
And somebody got found guilty.
Yeah, and I want to add one more fact in there that people might or might not know. But anytime Karmelo would get into a physical altercation, at any given time, his life can be lost. For the simple fact that he has epilepsy, he has seizures. That's a brain disorder. That means at any given time, if he take a wrong shot to the head, he can be gone. He has seizures. His
Then why he
mom was
playing
just
Why
his
he playing
mom.
football? Then why is he playing football?
Well, his mom, hey, if my kid had epilepsy, I wouldn't be wanting him to play football either. But let me say, his mom did just do an interview saying that she had to take his seizure medication up to the county. She had to turn his seizure medication over after they took him into custody. So it's fact that he has seizures. He suffers from epilepsy. So at any given time, hey, if we rocking, and then think about this, like not even, all right, let's say that we're not even so much worried about the blow that can kill you, but a blow can send you into a seizure. You can't defend yourself in a seizure. You at the mercy, hoping that these people don't stump you out while you seizing. It's a lot that go along with having seizures.
No.
I don't think that's a good defensive court.
Does he also have retardation? Because he makes some dumbass decisions too. That's just
Hey, Austin made some pretty dumb decisions too. You know what I'm saying? Like
for sure, and he's dead because of it.
Exactly.
And now this guy's in jail because of it. I don't feel sorry for either one of them.
No, they both made decisions. Yeah, they have to live with it.
Yes, sir.
You can't say that what would have happened. We know what did happen, and we know there's plenty of people that get in fights every day. Matter of fact, the last day of school, it's always fights on the last day of school.
You already know.
Dudes be squared up, letting them loose, jumping people, and they know what it is. So like you can't say that, me and Max know we got problems and we throwing hands on the last day. I can't bring a knife and say, I'm just gonna jug him because I know he threatened me. Like, come on, these kids, these are children, bro. Like that's what they're supposed to do.
Everybody ain't y'all, man.
That's what I got.
Everybody ain't gonna react the same way. That's what y'all refusing to say. Everybody's not going to react the same way, and this dude would not be in that position. He should have never been put in that position. No matter where he was sitting at, they had no call.
Oh, it matter where
why would you go sit on the other side though? Like,
go call the police. Then call the police. Call the sheriff. Get some helicopters. I don't care, but keep your hands off me. Let the people who authorized to touch me touch me.
Be looked at as a snitch. If he's ready to stab somebody, he lives by a certain code. So he's not calling police.
I'm saying them call the police. Let the Metcalf go call the sheriff. Yeah, somebody else do something besides you put your hands on me. Because you ain't have no authority to put your hands on me. And I ain't fighting you straight up and up, big giant nigga. No, I'm not.
There you go.
Yes, I agree with that. Now the other question is all right, go ahead, y'all.
Well, I was gonna say, like, we see everybody who's been on organized sports has seen people in football, basketball, seen a center get swung on by a point guard, bro. We didn't see this stuff. We didn't see linemen get swung on by a little wide receiver. Like, the size don't really matter that much in fights, bro. Fights is fights. People fight, and some people get the biggest dude, but twice as big as them, and it's just a fight. They get lumped up. End of the day, they children. If once you bring a weapon into it, that changes everything. That's everything and over, and we can't because once we do the other thing, it's like are we saying that kids should be bringing knives to school just for their protection? And if somebody get at them and push them, and they feel like their life is in danger, that they should be able to jug them back.
They do bring knives to school.
Tell your children to keep their hands to themselves. Teach your children to keep their hands to themselves.
I brought a knife to school. I got caught and I got expelled from all schools in California. That's exactly what the fuck happened to me.
You can't bring knives to school.
Yeah, I got jumped by some Southsiders.
School
and the next day I bought a knife.
Keep saying school is attracting me.
Man,
it's a school event, bro. It's a school event.
But it's not school. It's not the school though. You keep saying school. Say
event. It's a school event.
Say that, bro. Say that because you conflating it.
Hey, we gotta talk one at a time. Y'all talking over each other.
What's the same as school event?
Well, say that then, but you keep saying school like they in the third period and he stabbed them inside the class. No, that ain't happen like that. But you make it seem like that.
Campus.
When you keep saying in school, when you keep saying
no. In context to what I was saying is you cannot bring a knife to school. Specifically to this event, you can't bring a knife to a school event. That means basketball game, football game, track event, water polo, swimming, whatever it is. If it's a school event, you
I bet he
can't bring
wasn't the
no
only
knives
person there
to it.
with a knife. I'd be willing to bet he wasn't
So,
the only
but you
person there
could
with a
bring.
knife.
No, he
So,
wasn't.
but you
If the other
could.
person would have did it, they would have got it too. Like you could use a knife, that's cool, but you're gonna have to suffer the consequences. You can do whatever you want, but you
For
got to suffer the
35
consequences
years,
to it.
to me, I'm not arguing that he shouldn't get a consequence. I feel that 35 years, no. You don't stretch him out like that for that. He didn't go up
Yeah,
there
you're right
tripping
about
and
that.
shit.
Yeah,
He
that's a
Facts.
didn't
Like
different
go up there
thing. Yeah, you're
tripping.
right about
And to
that. I
me,
don't think nobody
that should
agrees
be
with
the
that.
battle. He shouldn't walk away scot-free. He made a decision, something happened. You know, I mean, he gotta live with that. People get manslaughter all the time. But
yeah.
maybe he should have
So,
maybe his defense should have been affluenza. He probably would have walked away that way, but you know what I mean? Other than that, 35 years is harsh. And I think that's what the problem
so
is.
how much time do you think Metcalf would have got had he pushed Anthony and Anthony slipped out there on the wet surface of the wet ground and busted his head open,
You don't
started
know.
season?
That would have been more
How much
accidental than
time?
stabbing someone with a knife.
Bro. I'm not
Yeah, that
eating
would have been
no
an
chicken.
accident,
I'm
bro.
not.
That would have been a
So you push
manslaughter.
somebody. So you push somebody and they
And they fall and
died,
hit their head. Yeah.
and the ball
What's
hit
the
their
chances
head.
of that
That's
happening,
a
though, bro?
manslaughter.
Like kids is getting there.
In
Like,
the
how many
rain,
kids that
it's
happen to,
rain.
bro?
Anything
Like
can
On
that's
wet
happen when you
bleachers.
put your hands on somebody. Anything can
come on,
happen
bro.
when you walking up on people and putting your hands on them. You don't know
Well,
what to
we'll never
expect.
know. We'll
It
never
That's
know,
did
bro.
happen.
true.
He got poked in the chest.
Hey,
You will never know,
but
bro.
another question: Do we think that what would have happened if Austin would have said, "Hey, man, you need to leave," and Carmelo would have said whatever back, and Austin would have walked away and went and got a coach and got the coach to remove him? We not even
We
having this
wouldn't have this
conversation
conversation.
today.
Yeah.
We're not
But
But
that
having
would
I
have
this
don't think
been
nobody's
conversation.
saying Austin's right, though. I
So
haven't
are you
heard nobody
guys
say
and
Austin's right, though.
honestly, some type of adult
yeah.
should have stepped in because from what it sounds like they had been trying to get him to leave. So it looked like there was some
Yeah.
type of confrontation
Man,
for a couple
get
minutes
some
and nobody
pants
did
Some of
and
the
nothing.
shit,
coaches don't be
man.
paying attention, though. You know, some
Leave
of the
the
coaches
F
ain't
Yeah,
good,
alone.
bro. They be
especially
on,
especially
they
if
be
the
over
track
in the
meet is
corner doing
going
some
on.
bullshit.
They track
Yeah.
meet all damn day. They ain't paying attention to what them kids doing.
Nah.
They ass probably on break.
And,
So
and
we
we
can all
Coaches
also,
argue
on
what
the
should have, could have, would have happened. What did happen was he made a mistake. Both of them made a mistake. Somebody lost their life. The argument and the problem should be about this 35 years, and that's what
That's
the
ridiculous.
problem is. And that's the white supremacy justice system we're living up under. And I think that's the shit that should be addressed.
Okay, to the boxers out there, y'all driving your car down the street. Okay, an incident happened.
Big nigga
Now the
jump
other
out in
driver
front of
comes
you.
out. The other driver comes out with road rage coming at you. He swing on you. Okay, you weave it, you duck it. You hit him with a right cross, left cross, whatever. He drops, dies. Do you think you should be tried for murder?
And you wouldn't be tried for murder. Y'all engage in a mutual fucking
Yeah, and you're an
fight.
adult. Yeah, you're an adult. You're not a child,
Unless
bro.
you
It's
But
not the
you
same
are a
thing.
it's
licensed
charged with
boxer.
every fucking thing.
Your hands are
Cause you,
registered, right?
No, that's a myth. The boxer can whoop your
That's a
motherfucking
hell
ass.
of a myth.
let me say this,
Ain't
man.
no boxer hand registered as a weapon. You fucking fuck with them, they got a right to defend themselves.
Look, I got a little man. I got a little man that's in combat sports, man. He trained and he compete. I teach my little man that if it's a confrontation, a confrontation like somebody's trying to fight you, you know, if he was awake right now, he would tell you. I say, "Hey, son, hey, just get on here, tell them what I tell you about fighting." He'd get on here, he'd say, "Hey, my dad teach me to run away. He don't teach me to walk away. My dad told me to sprint. He told me to sprint away, and if they chase me and if they catch me, okay, hey, now I got to defend myself." And I know that's putting an unrealistic expectation on a child,
Absolutely.
but at the same time, my boy, he's trained. And so if he got in an altercation and seriously hurt a kid, the first thing they're gonna be yelling is, "Hey, he trained, he trained, he trained."
Oh well,
And
that's okay. If he didn't start nothing, okay, whatever.
yeah,
yeah.
but
They
that's
ain't gonna run
leaving
it by him
that's your
trained. If he didn't
but that's
start it, like you
leaving
said, unless the school got that zero
Yeah.
policy, policy shit, he ain't about to be in trouble because he trained.
Yeah, he on trouble. Yeah, he on trouble.
You
All
know,
right,
in
cool.
California, they actually switched that to law. Is that you have to show you attempted to try to get away first before you can kill someone when they come in your house.
California
Yeah,
not a
they
real
did
place,
say
bro.
that.
California's a
California
bitch
not a real
shit.
place, bro.
And,
That's not a real
It's a
place,
bitch
and
bro.
shit.
New York is unreal
It's not
too
a real
because you
place.
can't defend yourself here.
in my
Yeah.
You
state,
can't defend yourself here.
in my state, school fights, no matter the grade, school fights automatically get turned over to the prosecutors. The prosecutors, like, it's an automatic. It gets turned over to the prosecutors. Your kid got to go in there and sit down and talk to somebody in the judicial system about how the fight went and wooty woo to see if they gonna press charges or if they. This is just automatic in any school fights in my state, and I'm like, it wasn't like that when I was a kid, but this the world we live in now.
Yeah, no, there used to be
That's a
race riots
political
every
balance.
year in
Maybe
California.
they seen the
Yeah,
issue with the level of fights they see with so many kids.
but I bet you they don't do that at affluent schools. I bet you they don't do that at affluent schools because they don't have none of that stuff really. And see, that's the other part to this. Like we have a culture where we get our young men trying to be tough about every damn thing all the time. And some of that they get
Yeah.
from us, some of that they get from TV, some of that they get from movies. But like when you have kids and people say it's not a difference taking your kids to a different school, yes, it is. Those affluent schools are not the same thing. The resources they have there, a lot of times they have like state police or sheriffs at those schools, and they just sitting there. When you go on the campuses, it's actual campus, it's not a school. The lunches are different, they're eating different food. Like the attitude is different. Everything about that stuff is different. Sometimes the attitudes that we let our kids leave the house with is the attitudes that they go to work with. And we don't understand sometimes that we're saying things and we're doing things, even though we're all working people. We're pushing stuff that we should not be pushing. And we have to really look at some of the stuff that we're pushing with our young men with some of this tough stuff that we're pushing on them. It can get them in a lot of trouble.
That's a
Yeah,
good
Yeah,
statement.
facts, facts.
And listen, I gotta apologize to anybody who I might have offended. That's not my intention. I'm
Man,
hoping we
we
just
don't
have a
apologize over here. We all know
nah,
it.
ain't nobody
Nah,
offended,
you ain't got
bro.
to
okay.
apologize over here, bro.
You
Yeah,
come
All
over
right,
here, you hear our
Talk your
because this is my
shit.
first time over here. It's my first
He
time
got the
over
white
here, and
people
I
for
don't want to
one
be that
listen.
nigga.
Hey,
Huh?
I feel you,
Tell
man.
us again about Shaq.
Yeah.
Nah, nah, nah. On the real tip, man. Listen. Somebody who just you feel you ain't got no wins. Okay, like right now, I'm an old nigga. I don't need no young big nigga come fucking with me. Okay, I still carry myself. I still carry myself. I still carry myself like I'm that dude. Looking at me, you might think I'm
Wildlife.
that dude, but I'm an old
Wildlife
nigga. I got some
5'5",
creaks and
150.
cracks. Huh?
Say that, man.
You said 5'5",
That nigga
150, and I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm bigger than that, and I'm still an athlete, and I still could do some damage, but I ain't trying to do shit. I can't run no more, so what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Somebody gonna get poked the fuck up, shot up, or something fucking with me.
hey, bro. The crazy thing is, like altercations nowadays, like, because I'm an old nigga too. So the funny thing is, man, like when altercations like that come to me, my first thought is, damn, do I really want to? Do I want to do this? And not over that, but my hands are swollen like crazy and they hurt the next day. My hand, like I done put in work with these when I was younger, so my hands is messed up.
Dude, I
Like,
can't punch
so
nobody, man. Every time I punch a nigga in that head, one of my knuckles is like three knuckles. Every time I hit somebody, it re-breaks my shit. So I got it in, man. I don't want no, I don't want no smoke, bro, unless the shit is Newports. If it
I
ain't
mean,
Newports, that's the only fucking smoke I need.
pride and ego, man. Pride and ego
I
and emotions
did.
will dominate these situations, bro.
Yeah.
I did, and that's what I'm saying. Like I try to install something different in my. Hey man, you ain't got to live up to your daddy. You ain't got to be. Don't be your daddy. Be better than me, because I'm a damn show teach you better. And if you fall in that type of a situation like that, I feel like I failed you. What could I have done? What did I miss? What more could I have done to have stopped you from being in this situation? That's why I teach mine to run, man. Like I don't care if you take a L on your reputation. I'd rather you take an L on your reputation than an L on your life. These people in school, after you
Facts.
graduate, you ain't finna see these people again. You might see 10 of them every now and then throughout your life. Who is these people? Right
But
now,
you
we
gotta
looking
admit,
at
when you young, man, you cannot even imagine no future past where you at.
Yeah.
You just can't. You
Yeah,
have no idea. You can't even fathom what's the future gonna be. You can't if you 17, you can't see yourself at 22 or 25. You can make some projections or make some moves towards it, but you really just can't even imagine the difference
and that's
in
why them boys weren't gonna
those.
fucking back down. Neither one of them were gonna leave. Neither one that like at that point it becomes an incident. Everyone looking at you. Whichever one leave first is the bitch. That's just how it come down.
Right,
What it come
Well,
right.
down to.
And
well, let
imagine
me bring
even
up
with
something
that.
else about the trial. If I could bring up something else about the trial, what Deuce touched on. There's a lot of stuff that judge did incorrectly, and it's just crazy. I still don't understand it. Like, okay, the 3 black juries that people are highlighting that the prosecution got thrown out. The basis for them getting them out was because they were educators, and the judge made a crazy statement, which I still don't understand. I have yet to hear somebody explain it. That the trial was race neutral. It was a race neutral trial, so it didn't matter that they were getting rid of the 3 black jurors, potential black jurors, because they were educators and that they were black, and it's a race neutral trial. Anybody heard that or understand that?
Yeah, but they got one white educator who's a white lady who still remained on the jury. So that was a contradiction.
Of course,
yeah.
Or
They
did it
want
mean
that
that
system of
race
white
didn't matter in
supremacy.
their decisions?
that's
Because
what
it
the judge said.
shouldn't.
He called it
Race
race
should
neutral. He
not
called
matter
it
when you're picking a jury, bro.
no excluding them. It should. You can't exclude
But it's
somebody because they're
evident.
black.
No. Yeah, you can't exclude someone based on race, but I'm saying
That's
you
what they
shouldn't be able to
did.
pick someone based on race either.
That's what they did, though.
When
I
you
That's what
know,
look
they.
at
in
That's
the
the
literally what
process,
they did.
in the
Well,
process,
when you look at
in the
so what I'm
process for a
asking is,
trial, you do
do you know
eliminate
for a
people.
fact? Do you know for
People
a
get
fact that the
eliminated.
reason they said you cannot be a juror because of your skin color, or could it possibly have been anything else?
No,
Facts can
but
be
the
hidden.
reasoning was because the reasoning that they gave was because they were educators. Like the brother said, they had somebody who
So it
was
didn't have
white,
nothing to do with
who was
race.
hold on. The person
That's what
they
the
had
judge
somebody
said.
on the jury that was a white educator. So it can't be an educator if you're letting a white educator be on as a jury. It doesn't make any sense.
it
And
don't
these are
it
the
don't.
only
I
3
agree.
black. Yeah,
Grounds for appeal.
Educator in general. So if they said no educators, it should be no educators, whether they're black, white, Asian,
they
Indian,
didn't do
Mexican,
that. They
whatever.
let a white educator be on the same
Okay,
jury
so
panel, and
so
they
so
said
once
that.
again, I'm saying the issue, the problem, the contradicting is the fact that it was an educator. People keep pointing to, oh, it was a white educator. So if it was Asian, it would have been all right. No, it's just you said no educators should be no educators, period.
But
Regardless of
they
the
didn't
race.
do that, Max. If they listen, if
Okay,
they let
no,
an
I
Asian
understand.
educator, even if they let an Asian
This what I'm
educator,
saying.
they
I'm,
excluded 3 people that
I,
were black that were educators. So they contradicted themselves. So they clearly what they're
okay,
saying
that's what
is a
I'm
lie.
saying. I'm agreeing with
Yeah,
you. I'm
clearly what they're
agreeing with
saying
you.
is a lie.
But I'm saying, so the contradiction is that they said no educators. They would have said no garbage men. It wouldn't matter what race. It's just you said none, and then you got rid of these ones. We let this one slide. So it still shouldn't be a race thing. But the only difference you can see between the two is, well, this one's white and this one's black, so it must be a race thing.
Exactly. That's
Because they're
exactly
Yeah.
what
white
it
and they
is.
said
I
so.
mean, it could have behind the scenes. It could have been a religion thing. It could have been a anything. Could have been anything. Like, what do you believe in? Do you believe in the death penalty? Yes, no. Get off. Like when they go. I don't know if you guys have been jury duty, but they ask you a bunch of questions about like your beliefs in certain things or certain ways of living and shit, and then they'll X you off based off certain things.
Yeah,
That's
somebody
why the
said
easiest way is to have
they
extreme
couldn't
views.
convict somebody black. That's what somebody wrote in the chat.
What they
Because
say?
You said what?
They have to give a reason for the
I
strike,
don't
though.
think you go in jury selection knowing what case you're there for.
No, you don't. You don't know.
No.
They just ask you a bunch of shit about like, oh, how do you feel about death penalty or like religion or like pretty much like your views on like life in general. So they say the easiest way to get off of jury duty is have like hella extreme ass views where they're like, nah, we don't want this in here. Like if you're like neutral, they'll most likely pick you. If you're kind of like, oh, I see everything fairly, I think this and that, they're like, all right, we're gonna pick this dude.
Hey, let me ask y'all. Let me ask y'all. What y'all think about? All right, so the demographic of that area was like I don't know the exact demographic for the Caucasians or white, however they like to be, addressed. But it
Nigga
was
crazy.
10%. It was 10% black, 4% Asian, and 2% Arabic. And for there to be 3 Asian people, 1 Arabic person, and no black representation on a jury, to me, it said a lot.
No, but I think you look at the jury pool different. Like they probably bring in the mix of people, but they're eliminating people.
Yeah, I did
you
that.
left with.
Yeah, they eliminate a lot of them. They start off
But the
with
clerk of
500.
court has that
So they start.
decision. The clerk of court decides who is going to be in the jury pool. Now, a crooked clerk of court can manipulate by the I guess they could formulate the personalities or the prospective personalities of the people that they choose to even be in the jury pool.
Yeah, both sides
That's
have to agree.
basically what they did.
What do y'all
The
feel
jury
about?
pool.
Prosecutor and defense both have to agree on jurors. So if you're gonna blame one, you gotta blame both sides. The people also defending the victim.
No, but they can only strike so many. No, but they can only strike so many. Like the defense only gets so many strikes, and the prosecution only generally gets so many strikes. What that number is, it kind of varies.
Well, then they played the game how they played it.
Pull a nigga off the street.
And they started
like that.
His attorney tried to use the Batten law or whatever.
Yeah,
saying that, and that was struck down. So you see for the
what's the Batten law?
It say like you discriminating against somebody because of their race, you kicking them off the jury because of their race, and that's what he did with the 3 black women that were educators. So he said, "Hey man, I'm gonna bring in the Batten law," and the judge struck that down. He was like, "Nah." The prosecutor said that he's excusing them because they're educators, not because of their race. So they killed that with him. So his attorney did try to push back on that. But when a judge strike it down, a judge strike it down.
Oh, okay. So now this is making more sense. So it sounds like one side wanted to strike down educators, but maybe they ran out of strike downs, and one of them, the educators, still got in that bitch.
Now the judge stipulated that they couldn't be a part of the jury because they were educators.
Oh, the judge made that decision.
Yes, the judge made that decision. Just like
I gotta see some links. Y'all telling me shit I never heard of. Let me see. Let me look this shit up.
See, I thought that was the prosecutor that got rid of them.
Well, the judge
I'm pretty sure it was the prosecutor.
Yeah, I don't think the judge makes decisions.
When the defense made the argument that you're striking the black jurors, the judge ruled with the defense. I mean, with the prosecution saying that because they were educators, not because they were black, but they used the excuse that they were educators, that they should be scoped down, and the judge agreed upon that.
Yeah, and so the fact that they was educators, that was brought up by the prosecutor. The defense tried to fight it, and then the judge made a ruling on it. So
but still,
it wasn't instructions.
Exactly. Yeah, but how did the educator get on a jury?
This one said prosecution is the one that struck down.
Yeah, prosecution struck it, and the judge gave a ruling. That was part of his ruling, where he said that it's gender neutral. He's the one that did. He made that statement that everybody's talking about. But the prosecution is the one that originally struck them, and that's what is the reason that they gave. That's how we got to the educator. That's the reason that they gave why they didn't want these 3 black jurors on. So the judge came by and upheld that and gave his reasoning, saying that that trial was race neutral, which I never heard of before.
And from all right, what do y'all think about the and I'm gonna put it straight up the way that I seen it about the black juror that pretty much excused himself when he said, "Hey, I don't see myself being able to lock up a brother." In my opinion, you excusing yourself. You know what that statement? You know what that do?
He left the person hanging. Whoever the trial he's gonna go to. That's what a lot of our people do. A lot of our people don't want to serve in this shit.
Yep, he just didn't want to do jury duty.
Hey, and that's one of them. There's another person that said this is close enough to home that I'm not confident I can be completely fair. Yeah, that was another. That's 2.
In my opinion.
So somebody that ain't gonna be fair. That's not cool.
No, a lot of people don't want to do jury duty. A lot of people don't want to do this shit.
Yeah, they don't want to do jury duty
I
because they're
don't.
gonna lose work. Because look, most people gonna lose money from work. Their job isn't gonna compensate them for it, and trials can go on for months, days, or who knows when. And when you get sequestered, you can't even go home. No, most people don't want to deal with that, so they just make up something that they know that's gonna get them strike. And we do that all. We know all the buzzwords to say to get out of jury duty, bro. We all know. That's all that was. He didn't think about that trial. He just didn't want to do it.
Right.
Exactly. And the thing is, I think that it did play a part in that trial because you see where all the power is. You see where all the power is. So if you, in my opinion, if it come back a hung jury and you the reason that jury hung, you got to go back and live in this community, and you already see they doxing people and everything else. It's you might as well pack up and move. You know what this is?
Not really. No, you don't.
What you mean?
Oh yes, you do.
What you
Nah, his
mean?
people to love.
Could I
They
say
not
something?
playing.
I think some people go overboard with fear and threats.
Yeah.
You ain't got to do that shit.
You got to
Yeah, you gotta
remember
do
how
that.
these white people stay on
All
code,
right.
and
I
the
don't-
ones that aren't on code, you know, they get
to go back to the educator thing, I got a little more information. It said that the white educator that was there was allowed because they were an educator at a trade school, not a traditional K through 12 school.
Still
Like a school
educated.
Man,
district
that's
school.
bull.
That's still an educator.
That's a lame
Still-
excuse.
That's semantics.
Yeah, that's
That's
stupid, man.
semantics.
Still educated, man.
I'm just saying
Tomato,
that
tomato.
that's
That's
the
what they
reason.
say. Yeah, I got it.
Could I
That's-
say something?
And there is a difference. There is a difference between being a school teacher with children and teaching a trade, you're a welding teacher or
Nah, man, you still educated,
Man,
bro.
HVAC
You an
teacher.
educator, you an educator.
You educator, bro. Stop it. Same
So
thing.
is anybody? Oh, damn. So it's anybody that
shit.
teaches anything in life, period, you're not allowed.
If you educate, you educate. If you drive trucks and you don't drive this truck, so we got to worry about what specific truck you drive. You electrician and you only fix this building. You an electrician. You still electrician, bro. It's the same thing.
One thing I would like to bring up, nobody's really talking about, is there was a tape, okay, of the whole incident. All right. And the reason why it hasn't been brought up because it shows that Karmelo was being jumped. It shows that he was being chased. And if we know this, why wasn't the lawyer talking about this? Right? Not to mention, he should have definitely put him on the stand. Okay, because he needed to explain everything. All right, why he had the knife, which wasn't a knife. Okay, it was for their cleats. That should have been.
Bro, we saw the picture already. It was a knife.
Every
It was a
time,
knife.
but it was used for. But hold on, it was used for their cleats for the track.
Nah, that shit ain't used for cleats, bro.
Okay, but
See,
no, okay, hold on.
go ahead.
Okay, and if you want to move the goalposts,
No, let him
it's
talk.
legal. It's not illegal. It is legal.
Talk.
It is legal, right? So therefore, it should have been struck down every time they brung it up. That's what I'm talking about, sir. And if you know about courts, that's what they should have done at this trial. That's why you can tell the lawyer that Karmelo had was in the bag with him, because there's certain things that just any lawyer would bring up, especially with a big case like this. But let's get back to the video, because there is a video of said crime. Why wasn't it put out? But here it is. We can see a video of Puffy running down the damn hallway. We can see a video of these guys fighting in Chicago. Like I said, the reason why the video was not put out, it will be put out one day, but the reason why it wasn't put out because it shows Karmelo was being bullied. It shows that he was being jumped. And not to mention, he was being chased after he stabbed him. And I believe he stabbed him by accident. He probably pulled the knife out and after he was being pushed, he probably lunged into it. Okay, the bully that got murdered.
Do you
No, they
think the
showed-
judge in
They
the
didn't show that
video?
video. They didn't show that video because
Yeah.
they children, bro. That's why they didn't show that video. They can't. They're children. That's why they didn't show that video.
They could blur them out, sir. They could show it to
They
show
did that, but that's the reason they gave. So I mean, you take that up with them. I'm just telling you what they said. That's what we said.
But
It's been circulated.
doesn't make any sense though. But they
Yeah,
And in that video, was very grainy.
A black. They could show a video of a lady calling a little kid.
That's a lady. It's not a child. That's not a child.
That wasn't. Okay.
That's not a child. And that video was video in hand
Okay,
too.
so you mean to tell me if Karmelo was really guilty, as they say, you mean to tell me
he is guilty?
No, hold on.
He's guilty of killing him. Now his punishment is a different thing.
Oh,
and that video in hand.
He's not guilty of killing him. That was a mistake. Like I said, he was being jumped. And if you know about people being jumped,
he wasn't being jumped, bro.
How he wasn't being jumped? Hold on.
He got pushed. That's not jumping nobody.
Okay,
you say he could have got jumped.
If I step to you with more than one person, right, and then I grab your stuff,
and I don't touch you, You don't touch
does
me,
that
right?
mean? See, let's not change the verbiage. It's jump.
No, you
Jump.
gotta actually physically touch somebody to be
Go ahead.
jumped, bro.
Pit.
Two
Let me
people
get
can't talk at
scenario.
one
Go
time.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Let me get scenario. Then reply to it.
No, go ahead. Two
Go
people
ahead. I
can't
mean,
talk
you
at
got to
one
be
time.
actually touched. You got to be touched to be jumped, bro. You can't
And he
just
was
somebody you
touched
feel
by all
threatened.
accounts. Yeah, they said he was
He
touched.
was touched by
His
one
property
person.
was
That's
touched.
not,
Come on, we
But
always
no.
raised the right
Moving
way.
the
You don't grab
goalposts.
people's
Hey, look,
property, okay?
Bomb
Unless
Legacy.
you're bullying
Bomb
him. Not to
Legacy.
mention
one.
he didn't know
Bomb
that.
Legacy. Bomb Legacy. You
Yeah.
can't let him reply to you that you keep jumping in between.
No, I was quiet. Go ahead.
Well,
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
can't, like, if two people come at you and one person touch you, obviously you have the right to defend you. Nobody's arguing that. Him stabbing him, that's where everything goes wrong. That's where you lose most people because they're at school, bro. It's not like us walking on the school with a lot of these scenarios that people are using. We're making adult assumptions at school. There's no reason for a child to have a knife, a gun, none of that stuff. That's where everything falls apart. Because at best, if you take the weapon away, they're fighting. Maybe he loses, maybe he wins, and we can say who got hurt more. We don't know. But there's no weapon involved. You can't have a weapon on school campus. You can't have a weapon at school events. Any of that stuff should happen at any function dealing with a school. If they had a school dance, that couldn't happen. You can't have a weapon at a school, bro.
Did they have metal detectors at his school? Does anyone know that? The reason I'm asking that question is because if they had metal detection at his school, that means that he never traveled with that knife during school hours, actual school hours. At a track meet, it lends the reasons why he might have had that knife for the purposes of cleaning his cleats.
That's what I just
All
said.
right. Now in the court in court, his attorney went over all the contents in his bag. Did y'all heard about that part?
No.
Okay. So in the courtroom, his attorney went over all the contents that was in Karmelo's bag, and he tried. I mean, I don't think he tried as hard as he could have to drive it home, but he told the jury, he said, "Pay attention to this." He started talking about it. He had hand warmers in his bag. He had a shiesty in his bag, and he had a bright orange thing in his bag. And they say all these things, so when he said all this, it led to believe like, all right, he finna lean towards he was a camping trip or something. I'm waiting on him to actually say it. He never actually said it, but he's saying that all of these things lean towards a camping trip. But I guess you gotta actually say it because and another thing was between something that a court reporter said, and I just recently watched an interview from Karmelo's parents that was upset too. And they was talking about the jury, and they was talking about every time that the defense started talking, one particular juror, a male juror, was looking all like looking upside their head, like that look that we got that we can have, like, what? Like, I'm not listening to y'all, like, man, whatever. Had that kind of look from the get-go. And like his mom said, and like his mom said off top, she was like, man, they already had their mind made up. They wasn't listening to nothing. Their minds was already made up. And
they aren't just regular people. They're gonna respond when they hear certain shit spoke about.
Yeah, but it's a difference between responding to certain stuff. But we all grown people, man. We know when we talking to a tree, or we might as well be talking to a tree. We know when somebody is not listening. And if the jury was like that, it ain't nothing you can do. If they minds, and I'm not saying that it was, but I'm saying if what they reporting is true, if it's accurate, and they minds was already made up, you cooked already. You cooked.
How about the reports of some of them going to sleep?
See, I never heard that.
Man, y'all getting misinformation. There's no actual public like recording of this shit. We getting people that want to tell
because they took the cameras out.
Their interpretation.
They took the cameras out.
No, the judge can apply that shit. It ain't no take the cameras out.
Black reporters.
You got to get with what people report. Mainstream
Hey,
reports, people who
Or
find
TV
in the court, they report theirs. like no, you're gonna get misinformation. Then we come to find out everything Charleston White been telling us been a fucking lie. Like,
Yo, this whole time I've been trying
As
to see
far
if
as
there's
what?
an alleged video. They said there's no alleged video of the incident. The only video they showed in court was a body cam from the cops. But I'm not seeing any links to anywhere saying that there's a video of him getting jumped that they didn't show from any.
But they don't have it out
There is a
publicly. They don't have
fraudulent
it out
video. It
publicly.
will
I'm saying,
come
I'm
out.
saying,
They
I'm
got the
saying, I'm
video.
not seeing it nowhere. I don't know where you got the information from. I'm not seeing it.
No,
in
they have
link.
a video. They
Was
have a
led
video
reports to
in
it,
court.
sir.
They got a video in court. They don't have one that's circulating through the internet. They got a
No,
video in
what I'm
court that's
saying,
supposedly
There's
grainy.
no way to have a video
You can
in
see it
court
if
of
you was
this
in
nigga
public, but
jumping
you have
him.
to fill out
That's
Of
what's been
him getting
recorded.
jumped.
what
There's
I'm
no
saying
way
from
you
what
can
I'm
have a video of
reading,
him
from what
getting
I'm
jumped
reading,
and
they
they
say the
put.
video
No, he
in
didn't.
court that was shown
It's
was
not.
body cam
Hold on.
from the
Hold on.
police
It's not a video of
officer.
him being jumped. It's not a video of him being
Yeah, that's
jumped.
what
They
I'm
have a
saying.
video. Wait a minute, because he said something about him being jumped. That's not what the
That's
video
what I'm
says.
saying. And I
Now
said
you
I've
can
been looking for, and there's no reports on that video existing.
It was 4
yeah. There's
people that
reports of
stepped to
a grainy
Karmelo,
video
not
that
2.
they. Oh, go
Yeah, the
ahead, man.
video
You
Boy
shown
talking
in
Eddie,
something?
court.
boy
Bro,
Eddie that called
anybody
him over, the one that tried to lie on the stand. Remember that? Yeah, he got caught. They showed photos. He called Karmelo over. And this is how crazy this trial is.
Eddie, that was
Okay.
Eddie, and
Hold
he
on.
18. We can say his name. We can say
Yeah,
his
but
name.
hold on.
He
Yeah,
18.
but and they still got him guilty when he clearly was lying on the stand. Not just him, it was 2 other kids. And
Yeah.
This is his crazy part. How could Karmelo be the aggressor when he's sitting down? And forget what he
That part.
says. Okay, and the sad part is he should have got up, he should have left. What do you think this is, the 30s? Like, and not to mention these are your peers, not to mention these are kids. And to the person talking about, hold on, to the person talking about why did he have a weapon? I used to go to school in the Bronx, okay, and I was in high school with an axe. Okay,
And
why?
you're wrong.
Because hold on.
You're wrong.
And that, yes, it was stupid, but you know why? Because in my head, okay, because the Dominicans was jumping the blacks, okay, and I'm black. Okay, so I wasn't having nobody putting their hands on me. So and that was a stupid mentality. But let's go back to when you were kids, everybody. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
So maybe hold on. Not to mention maybe Karmelo was like, you know what? I'm not gonna be bullied no more. I'm done with this. You know? So
What do you
maybe he
mean
was
no
at
more?
that point, obviously. Because to
He
stab
would've had a
somebody,
bigger
hold on,
They didn't
to
even go to the
stab somebody,
same
to hurt
school.
somebody,
What are you
you're
talking
gonna do
about?
it. You're gonna do it more than one time. You're not just gonna stab them and then run away.
Bro, like you're talking about intention. You don't have to do it intentionally.
Nah. Hey,
You
some
don't have
niggas
to do it
really ain't
intentionally.
killers like that though. They wake up after the
No,
first stab.
but
Like,
he
fuck,
don't
what I
have.
do?
But he don't have to be a
If you
killer.
stab
It could have
somebody, if you
been.
want to hurt somebody, you're gonna do it more than once, sir. Trust
Yeah,
me.
but you don't
I
have
you're
agree.
not
to.
gonna
It can be
use no butter
unintentional.
knife.
You don't have to be a.
Not using no butter
That
knife.
You ain't
sounds like
stabbing one.
manslaughter.
That's why I think
Yeah, it's a
humbly in my
manslaughter. That's
So
what
you
he should
just
have
wanted to
done.
give him a baby stab through the heart
he stabbed him by mistake. He pulled that knife out, and that boy lunged at him to
by
hit him the
mistake.
second time.
Lunged at him. No, he
Even if
killed.
he stabbed
Bro,
him
How
on
you say it's
purpose,
a mistake
he
when
didn't
you
have an
told the
axe.
motherfucker do it and see what happens? How's that a mistake?
listen. It don't matter
Bro,
if
he
it.
was
Listen, it don't
trying.
matter
Come
if it's
on, man. He was,
purposeful or not. That's why they have manslaughter. They got manslaughter for you not intentionally premeditated leaving your
that's what
house
he
talking
should
about
have
kill.
got. How
That's
could
what.
he get a murder
Yeah,
one? You didn't know. He didn't clear it.
that's a whole different situation. I don't think nobody
Yeah, but
agrees with that.
But
I
it
don't think
can't be
nobody agrees with
manslaughter
that.
when you're. It
That
can't be
what?
manslaughter when you're inviting physical contact so
How
you
did he
can stab
invite it? He
It's
somebody.
still
said, "Come on,
manslaughter.
now." Hold on.
Yes.
Because he
Yeah,
said,
Okay,
because
"Touch me
what
and
about
see what
Metcalf? What about
happens."
Metcalf,
nah,
who should have minded his
He
business?
didn't
Not
invite
to
the
mention,
first
He should
push.
have.
hold on.
nah.
He should have gotten a teacher. See, everybody keeps forgetting
He
that.
should have.
Yeah,
They
I
both
don't,
should
I
have
don't
got
think anyone
teachers.
disagrees with that.
But you know what? Carmelo could have been there. You know what? Not to mention it was raining. Come on, guys.
What
Really?
does that mean?
But
Yeah.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
It's wet.
It's raining, so kill somebody.
No, he can
Hey,
sit
so
under any
okay.
tent he wants. Not to mention if he
he
didn't
can
supposed
get
to be there.
wet, bro.
Hold on, if he didn't
I don't.
supposed to be there, call a teacher, call an authority. That's how we supposed to be raised, right, people?
Yeah, for
Hey,
sure.
But he.
Yeah, not putting your hands on strangers' things unless you think something else is gonna happen.
And
You don't
not
cut.
going to the opposite team shit and talking shit to
No,
everybody.
see, you'll keep moving the
hey,
goalposts. No, but that still doesn't
That's not
matter
moving the
for you to be
goalposts. You
messed
gotta.
with. You're
Everybody's got to
my
be held
peer. You're
accountable
my
for their
peer.
actions,
Go
bro.
get a
You're trying to
teacher.
give one guy an out at every decision he made that day. That's
No,
crazy.
if I don't belong there, get an authority to kick me out. See, because y'all keep
Why are
making
you
things
there
up.
though?
hey,
So
let's
why
That's
say
a
are you
this.
bad
there?
decision.
What makes
It's a bad
what makes this
decision.
guy the hall monitor? Not to mention he was
What
just
the
suspended
fuck?
for bullying people.
That's fucking
And
crazy.
But how did he
he's
know he
such
was
a bully.
suspended?
He
But
beat up his
how did Carmelo?
father. He
But
had
how
his
did
father
Carmelo
in
know
the.
that? That's rumor, bro. That nobody confirm any of
No,
that. And
that's
even
not
if
a
that's
rumor.
true,
That's
And
Okay,
even if that's true, which has been rumored, That ain't got nothing to do with this
Okay, so
incident.
he wasn't suspended. That was
No,
his first game
bruh.
back.
No,
Bruh,
That's a
if you were
rumor, bro.
No,
bruh,
okay.
anywhere in
that was
life,
It's a
dog,
and that
rumor.
was cleared up. That was cleared up. That was also cleared up in an interview by his parents too. They said it's been a rumor going around that Karmelo was suspended for carrying a knife to school. They said he was never ever suspended. They was like, hey,
No.
he ain't got no record. He was never suspended from school for
Exactly.
having a knife.
So
That,
it's
you
a
know
bunch
what I
of men
mean?
up here. Would you teach your kids to do that? To you know, try to
What?
kick another person out? Would that be okay?
But
with
you don't have to teach.
Yes.
But you don't got to teach
hold on. I'm
teenage
just
boys to
asking
do.
a manly
But you
question.
don't. But you don't have to teach teenage. Listen, you don't have to teach teenage boys to do nothing. Teenage boys leave your house, good, bad, or indifferent, and they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
No,
We
I
see
know
teenage boys
that
like
exactly. When they out of
it
sight, I know
don't
that. But I'm saying,
matter.
what do
And then
you
some
guys
kids
do?
make
Because I teach
mistakes.
my
This
kids, you know
boy,
what?
that
Don't
boy,
put your hands
that
on
boy
somebody
right
unless
there.
you expect it to come back.
Hold on, let me just say this. Hold on, let me just say this. I don't think it. Like I don't think nobody believes that boy woke up with the intention of doing what he did. He just made a
No.
mistake.
No.
Just because he made a mistake, that doesn't mean he gets to go home and move on with his life. He took somebody's life. I don't think nobody believes he just gets. That's it. That's the problem with it. I think there's a group of people that believe that nothing should happen to him. I think that's a small percentage of people in our community that believe nothing should happen to him.
No, I don't. But what about Jordan
I'm in that
McNally?
percentage.
Like, for example, he killed them. He killed that guy in the train station and got out. He was a hero. And hold on, I'm from New York. Hold on. You don't have a stand your ground in New York. Yeah.
Nope.
This is Texas though.
You got to
But
run.
hold on, no. I'm just showing. I'm just showing. You know what I'm saying? But he's looked at as a hero.
It wasn't
You know
a
what I'm
fight.
saying?
No, that white dude was wrong in that subway shit. That black dude were acting a fucking fool. And I agree with what the white dude did. I think.
Wow, you agree
Are
with
you
that?
crazy?
Man, that shit is not.
Man, do you know how many crazy? Hold on.
And you know the crazy
Do you know how
part,
many
sir?
crazy
Your mother
people
said that.
No. We don't do that. When we talk over, we got to conversate like grown folks. Let me respond.
Okay, but then can I say something? I was quiet. Do you know how many
What's that
crazy
case,
people?
Reg?
Bro. We conversate.
Reg, what's the case? Tell us the case because I don't know what y'all talking about. What case you talking about, Reg?
Now we're
What
bringing
case
up
y'all
other
talking
shit.
about?
He talking about the case in New York where the black dude in there acting a fool, talking about he gonna do this and that shit to people. The white dude went in there and subdued and put in a chokehold that was in there too long. The dude died. New York is also a place where niggas have jumped on them subways, shot motherfuckers. This is the same city where niggas stab motherfuckers on there. So a lot of people ain't. This is also the city where niggas and flew planes in the buildings. A lot of niggas ain't playing that shit because some nigga acting crazy and people want to holler this mental health shit and that's a defense for people. Fuck no. Mentally ill people kill motherfuckers.
Okay, I live in New York. Can I say something? I live in New York. There's a whole bunch.
Hold on. No.
You don't want me to say nothing, huh?
We love to just jump in. Let me just finish. I'm about to close. I ain't gonna be low with it. Like people love to defend this mental health shit. No. The country needs to do more of housing mental health people, getting them off the street, and especially when they act like that. Everybody ain't about to play a victim of motherfuckers. It's no different a person doing that shit on a plane. But go ahead.
Okay, what I was going to say is this. In New York, there's like 11 trillion crazy ass people walking around, talking to themselves, yelling at you, doing all kind of shit. If you take it upon yourself to choke out every single last one of them, well, and then be justified for it, then it'd be a whole lot of dead people. That dude had no business creeping up from behind him, choking him out for 6 minutes, and then being found guilty for it. And then you're gonna tell me that Karmelo, who's getting jumped by bigger people,
There's no evidence
have a
of that.
reason to
No
defend
evidence of
himself?
that.
Come on, man.
No evidence of that.
Now, what I'm saying is, look at the contradiction.
Those are two different. That's two different things, bro. It's apples and
Right,
oranges.
right. One dude wasn't touching nobody. That crazy dude wasn't touching nobody. If you go on the train right,
threatening by him.
if you go on the train right now, there's crazy ass people yelling and screaming and doing all kind of shit.
Okay, but this
you
wasn't
have
on a
no
train. This
right
was
to
at a
go
school.
choke
Bro,
them out.
look at the China man.
This
Look
is
at the
kids at a
China
school.
man just chased that young boy down and shot him down.
That's a different case,
we can't
bro.
do that. I can't do
Y'all
that.
bringing in all these cases. That's a whole different
What do
case.
all these things got to do with what we're
but these
talking
are
about,
these are
though?
Yeah,
cases
that's a
just
whole
showing you
different
we don't
Because
thing,
it's
have
the
the
bro.
same
same
thing as black
bring up
people
we
getting
don't
No,
have
it's
killed.
the
not.
same judgment in them
Black
courtrooms.
people getting killed in Justified. That's what the reason is. Black people getting killed,
No,
being
man,
put in
that
jail.
ain't.
You can't defend yourself. If you
Here we
defend
go.
yourself, you go to
Here we
jail.
go.
If you don't
What
defend
about
yourself,
Trayvon
you
Martin?
die. What do you do?
That's a lie.
What do you do?
That's a lie.
Bro, you
I
can
agree.
defend
I agree.
yourself.
Hey, what do you
You can
do?
defend
Like, I
yourself.
agree
You
with that.
can't listen. You can defend yourself. Children have the right to fight, duke it out, jump each other. They can even kids jumping each other. At worst, they get suspended. Right? Nobody's losing their life. That's the problem with this whole
Facts.
thing. Ain't nobody telling nobody, "Hey, sit on your hands, run away, don't fight." Nobody's really saying that, except for the one brother. Nobody's really saying it. So you can defend yourself. You can't bring weapons to school. Somebody lose their life and then just act like you don't have
Keep
no
saying the
culpability
school.
because you was defending yourself. You can't do that as children. Now as an adult, knock yourself out. We send our kids to school to learn, bro. And we don't.
Okay, can I ask
That's
you a
what we send
question?
our kids for. They supposed to go
Here's
there
the
to learn.
question.
That's institute of learning, bro. That's what that's supposed to be for.
Was it
Well, I don't
illegal
get.
for him to have that knife at that track meet?
No,
Yes.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
no, it wasn't.
Yes.
It's not
No,
illegal.
it
Yes.
wasn't.
It's a difference
It
between
was 3.5
school
inches.
policy
It
and a
has to be
law.
past 5 inches.
Yeah, it's a different.
Yeah.
Now,
He
school
wouldn't have
policy.
been he wouldn't went to jail, but he would have got expelled from school.
Yeah, all
But
right.
he
Let's
wasn't
go
in
with that.
school.
It's school
I'm saying at the
policy.
track
It's
meet.
not
Yeah, he
law.
wouldn't.
Okay.
Yo, it's
He
not.
wasn't at school.
Track meet is a school event, bro.
That's a school event,
Okay.
bro. If they
It's
have
school
kids,
property.
they
Nobody's
have
On the
saying
School
it's
knife, well, look,
property.
it's an action for a reaction. The whole action started because of Metcalf.
that's
Hey,
not a
hey,
proper
No,
I
reaction,
agree. Let
no,
me
bro.
that's a
say this. Hey, y'all.
lie.
Hey, let me say this. Asia Map, you gotta jump in the convo if you gonna say something, bro.
Raise your
Well,
man
I
up
just
here.
hey, what's up?
Go ahead, bro.
Hey, I was just saying, if this panel was the jury, just go around one by one, civilized. Give us y'all verdict.
He gonna get sick. He gonna get guilty.
No,
Yeah.
everybody. Well, I don't know. Everybody got to submit
That's
their
my
verdict.
verdict.
Okay, I would have said
Okay,
guilty by
okay,
manslaughter.
okay, Reggie,
Mine's is guilty. Mine's guilty by manslaughter. That's what I would have, because he had manslaughter on there. I would have put guilty by manslaughter. That's what he been guilty.
Okay, keep on. Everybody submit their verdict. Go ahead.
I would say second or third degree murder.
Okay, next.
I want to say
Not guilty.
not guilty by
Self-defense.
standing your ground, self-defense.
Okay, next.
I would have said not guilty. Standing your ground.
Next. We only got three. It's more people on the panel. What was your verdict, dude?
It's a hung
Everybody else
jury.
saying guilty some way though. Everybody else gonna say guilty in some kind of way.
Yeah, but go ahead, Asia. We ain't just trying to go into the trivia shit.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Well, I mean, so I can understand everybody's viewpoint.
You've been listening. You hear everybody's viewpoints of what.
No,
they
because
feel.
it's just been a lot. Come on, it's been a lot of cross talking. I can't tell who was saying what. So you say guilty, Reg. Pittsburgh say guilty, and I think it was two other people say not guilty by standing your ground.
Yep.
Yeah, I said not guilty. Standing your ground.
Just
I don't
like
think he's
Reggie.
I
guilty at
also
first
say not
degree.
guilty
And
standing.
they verdicts kind of speak on how they've been talking the whole time about it. But let's add the conversation. Let's go.
I think the situation I want to propose is if and this has nothing to do with the school, but just in general, just as human beings on earth, if you were chilling with a group of people, friends, family, otherwise, and a random person you don't know comes and sits with you, period. No matter if you're at the mall where it's public seating, you can be at the park and just the bench. It's available to anybody. It ain't yours. But they come over there and they just start sitting with you and talking shit. And you don't ask them a whole bunch of times to leave. Like, what situation is that put in? Are you not going to do something to that person or try to
That's
get
not
them out of there?
Hey,
Yeah,
I
but
like
that's not what happened.
I like his
Wait,
analogy.
hey,
Hold on.
Hold on. Let me say this. Because I think this is the crime scene. This one, what was the schools that went to? One was Liberty and Memorial or something, right?
Yeah.
So they tents right next to it. Karmelo could have walked his ass and went back to his tent.
No,
Yeah,
Carmelo's
the kids
school tent.
Carmelo
He didn't have a
tent wasn't
in
up.
school. Oh my
They tent wasn't up.
Then what's
You
his
can
tent
sit
doing
under
up right
any
here?
tent that was already disclosed. Yeah,
What's his tent? Ain't this L school his school?
No, but his tent wasn't up yet.
Sir, it was
Memorial.
already disclosed. You can
He went
sit
to
under
Memorial.
any tent.
So
No. He didn't go to Memorial.
Not to mention they were both peers.
Centennial. Okay,
So
I got you.
if he disagreed, call a teacher, call somebody who's in authority, not a peer. Right? We can all agree on that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
absolutely.
If you believe just because Metcalf was white, Carmelo should have listened to him. Is that what you're trying to say?
Nobody said
It
it.
has nothing to
Hey,
do
Who
with
said
hey,
race.
that?
hold on.
No.
Hey,
Who said
I'm
It
that?
just trying to find out why.
ain't got shit to do with
hey,
race, bro.
Okay,
hey,
but
hey, hold
it
on.
wasn't a
Yeah, who
thing of the
said
school
that?
because it was already
Hey,
disclosed to the child. You
It's
can
two
sit
boys
under any
peacocking
10.
on each other.
That's what
hey,
the
now hold
teacher
on,
has
hold
said.
on. Hey, getting back to the one guy's
The
analogy.
analogy, yeah.
If you at a family event or whatever, and somebody comes sit under there, okay. Now we gotta also take an event or take into account that
It's Rosa
all
Parks
right,
saying
he came over here talking. He came over here, John. But wait a minute,
shit.
I don't know him, but my cousin. He came over here and
Yeah,
sat next to
that
my
was some
cousin,
Karen
and my
stuff
cousin
going on,
having a
basically.
conversation with him. We not taking into account that he having a conversation with the Eddie kid. They sitting down
Not to mention he was called
talking.
over there. That was brought
Exactly
up in the
by
trial as
that guy.
well.
We
The guy
nobody's
Eddie
talking
called
about
him
that.
over there. So
So
like
so
And
y'all
I'm,
keep
I'm gonna
going.
stay
with that
locked for like
analogy,
10 more
that's like
minutes.
a family.
10 more
Hold on,
minutes.
let me finish this and then I'm done. But with that analogy, a family event, that's like your cousin calling somebody over here, but you feel that that person shouldn't be over here, but your cousin invited him over here.
But none
And
of those kids
then
had authority to do anything. But the problem with that, none of those kids had authority. Adults had the authority. That whoever those coaches were, they were clearly not there. The coaches are authorities over there, and whoever else is there. So no kid can tell somebody where to be at. No other kid can go
Exactly.
somewhere where they don't need to be with. All those kids are wrong. None of them had the
So
authority to.
Metcalf's
But
father,
so
he
the one
exposed
kid said,
himself
"Hey,
shit,
Eddie kid
calling
invited him
everybody
over there." So
niggas
everybody's
and
saying it.
yeah.
So the Eddie, hold on, brother. I don't
Watermelon
know. So
fellas,
the Eddie,
yeah.
but
so the
but
Eddie,
even
so
after
the
a
Eddie
while, Eddie
guy.
told him to
So
leave
hold on.
too.
So the Eddie guy,
Let him
Eddie
talk
guy who
enough,
invited him over
expose
is the
himself.
person
See, I'm
who.
mixed. My
Brother,
mother's
you gonna
black, my
talk the whole
father's
time I'm
Hold
white.
talking
on, let
over
him
you?
talk.
I ain't
Let him
never seen
talk.
my mother
Let him
No, I
black in
think
talk.
my
he's
life.
talking to somebody in the background. I'll mute him. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, because again, okay. So the Eddie kid is the kid that invited him over. They're saying he was invited by Eddie, which was another child. That's wrong. That then the Metcalf kids say you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be there anyways. But it's all kids orchestrating all of this. There's no adults in this at all. The adults came later after the event. That's why the coach came and said how he was helping them plug the one up. The adults aren't there. I don't know what happened with that place. I don't know what's going on. But the whole context of who invited them, who invited them to, the kids can't really, they shouldn't be doing any of that. So they're all wrong with that. Go ahead.
And even if one of the coaches would have came over there and started pushing on him, the coach would have been wrong because the coach shouldn't have been able to put his hand on it. That's the job of security.
Yeah, but
See,
okay,
so
now listen. Going off of that. Now after the coach tell you to leave, I believe by all means you need to leave. Now I don't see a coach putting their hands on you, but I do see a coach being like, "Oh, he's not gonna leave. All right, let's get security to take care of it." And that's the difference between a man and these boys. These is boys here. These kids.
but
That's what the boy should have did.
okay, but you
That's what
Exactly.
realize
the boy
that
should have did.
that logic has no ending, right? Because the coach can come and tell you the same shit the kids did to leave. He can't make you leave. Security can tell you the same shit to leave. He can't make you physically leave either.
Hey,
Right?
do
So
you
how
believe?
far are you willing to
Hey,
take it when you're just being an asshole because nobody can physically touch you and you know it? So you're just gonna sit
do
here and
you
you
think?
can wait all the way till the cops get here. And then it's like that's not even a crime for sitting in the wrong
But
That's
section.
the
So really
law
they can't
though.
do nothing.
That's
Hey,
how
but
it's supposed to
hold
go.
on. Off of what he said, you
So
said
why
that
was it such
that
a
he's
big
sitting
problem
there.
though?
You saying that he's sitting there being an asshole? Because I believe, and we'll never know, but I believe if a coach would have came up and told him, "Hey, young man, hey, you need to," I think he would have left. That me personally, I think he would have left.
Maybe.
Does anybody else
Possibly.
believe he would have left if an adult told him to get out of there?
He
Well,
would
I
have
mean,
that's
this
left.
going
a
to be
three
an
point. This a
appeal. What
three
they could
point
bring
eight.
that up.
This a 3.8 student with 2 jobs and
That don't mean
everything. Do
nothing.
we?
That don't mean nothing. Kids,
Yeah.
good kids make
He's a
bad
murderer
decisions,
now.
bro.
But
No,
do we?
but good
So
kids make bad decisions.
So do you believe that? So do y'all believe that he was just being a, I don't know about the cussing on the live and all that.
I think he was
So we're
trolling.
just, do you believe that he was just being a jerk and was like, nah, move me then.
Yeah.
You think he would have did that with a
Yeah.
coach?
No.
He could have.
That
Hell
so you
no.
gotta. So what makes you hold on? So my question is, what made you believe that he would have been like that with a coach? Let me please answer that.
You
What
know,
I'm saying is I'm not ruling out the possibility of that because I understand that the argument being made of you should have called the coach means that you think that would have solved it. But I'm saying
Yeah.
let's go further and say that he's one of them because I've seen it a million times. Let's see he's one of them
Mhm.
kids that say, I'm not leaving and you can't touch me. You
But
can't
what
touch me.
makes you
Because his
He
main
believe
was
that
the
thing
he
was
was
don't
one of
touch
them
goalpost.
me.
kids?
The whole entire
He
What?
time
was
his
the
main thing was
goalpost.
don't touch me. right?
What makes
Regardless of
you
his kid or
believe?
otherwise.
What makes you believe that he's one of them kids that you're talking about? That he wouldn't have had no respect for an authority figure. What makes you believe that?
Because he had no respect for the area he was in to begin with.
He was
Why you
called
say
over
that?
there.
Because he went, okay, like, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong because we've all done it. I've been to plenty of high school games. I'm gonna go to the other side. I'm gonna talk shit. Y'all niggas weak. We about to whoop your ass. Whatever. Usually I'm not doing that shit alone. But if you go and sit in another school section, which it looks like there's multiple schools there, it's a track
Yes.
meet, which usually there is more than 2 schools. It's like multiple. But you went to this particular one to sit there, and then yeah, maybe you got invited, but after a while, obviously the invitation, you're not welcome. You can feel the vibes. So then at this point, it's either maybe you're thinking, well, I'm not no bitch. I'm gonna sit here. You ain't gonna do shit. I'm gonna keep talking shit to you. Then maybe when a coach comes, maybe you do pack it up and leave. All right, then I'm out. Or maybe you're like, well, you can't do anything about it. You can't make me move. You can't touch me. Security can't touch me. Nobody can touch you but the cops. But the cops aren't gonna physically force you to remove you because you're not illegal for sitting in that section. So
Metcalf
really,
wasn't
where
no
does it
coach.
end?
Metcalf
Yeah.
wasn't
does
no
it end?
coach. So what are you saying?
Well, he didn't have to
Metcalf
be.
wasn't even
Yeah.
close to
But
the
that's
coach.
all.
And I'm trying to figure out, because you just said, you just said a couple different scenarios. I'm trying to figure out what led you to believe that he would not respond appropriately to an authority figure.
Because even in the face of danger, he didn't respond appropriately.
All right. So with
With the
that
possibility of
analogy,
getting jumped
hold on.
by
With
all
that
these kids,
analogy, that
with the
sound like
possibility of this dude way bigger than you beating your ass, you still never left.
so. This sound like self defense when you say in the face of danger.
Nah,
It sounds like self
man.
defense again.
Yep.
It
Bro.
could be. It could be. Yeah.
So wait a minute. Let me ask you a question. Are you advocating for kids to bring knives to
You're a
school
good
in case
lawyer.
somebody touch them? You okay with
Okay.
that happening?
Now,
Or
hey,
on any school
no,
event,
Didn't
like the
bring a knife
absolutely
to
basketball
not.
game, the
school.
football game, the track
He brought
event,
a
the
knife
swimming
on the
event.
school grounds.
No, I'm saying, is anybody okay with kids bringing knives to school events or school property itself? And if somebody do something to them, whatever
If it's
happens, they
legal.
defending themselves. So
If
you
it's
I'm
okay
not
with
legal.
kids
okay with
bringing
that.
knives? Okay,
I'm
cool,
not
bro. I'm
No.
done.
Nobody said that it was legal for him to have
If
that
you're the
at a track
instigator, I
event.
don't feel sorry for you.
No, I don't think it was a smart move, but I could understand
No.
it. I
But
definitely.
I'm also someone that doesn't believe because someone said something verbally means you need to react physically. So both
They
people
was
are
trying
wrong in
to
that
Okay.
jump
situation.
him.
Let's talk
No,
about.
they ain't
All
no.
right.
Hey,
Let
bro,
me
let me
bring
tell
this
you
up
something.
because.
Ain't no
All
such
right, go
thing as
ahead.
trying to jump somebody, bro.
They grabbed his property and they hit him, sir. What do you call that?
One person hit them, not
Assault,
they.
One person.
One person,
assault,
No,
not
no, it's
they.
assault
more than
of
One
one
person.
person.
It's no
takedown.
longer
Even
hit
if
them,
it was
not
one
they.
person, sir,
One
that
person hit
shouldn't
them.
have happened. It's
That's
an
all it
Even the
action or a
takes.
twin brother jumped
reaction.
in.
But you're acting like Carmelo sitting down was the aggressor, right?
That
Yeah. How
is.
can you?
He don't
You're
have to be the
instigating.
aggressor
You're
to
the
still.
instigator.
How could I be okay? Because I'm verbally saying something you don't like.
Because
So
you
if I
came
say
into an
something to you, you don't
area
hold on.
of
If I
ops
say
and
something
keep
to you you
talking
don't like,
shit.
it's okay for you to hit me.
No, that's
That's
what I said. I
assault.
don't agree with that either.
Okay,
But
so
if you get hit for saying some shit that someone doesn't like, that's not a surprise either.
exactly. So if I tell
It's
you
still
leave me
assault.
alone, okay, or you're gonna find out, and then you keep messing with me, and then you
But
find out, I'm in
how are
trouble,
you gonna show up to someone else's area and then tell them to leave you alone?
bro. You keep
He
saying
don't own
area
that.
that
He
they was
didn't
able to
own
sit
that.
at both tents. You keep
And it's
going
still
back there, and
assault.
that was already proven.
We see
He
all these
didn't own
videos
that.
going. Hold on. We see
Why do you
all
have
these
to
Exactly.
own it
This
to
is
videos.
not be in the
this
right
is
area?
Hold
Wait a
on.
minute.
indoctrination.
Can I
Why
say?
do you have to
No,
own
I
it?
agree.
Why you got to
Okay,
own it to
so
be in the wrong area?
so
Can I
let me
Why
say?
you
let me
got
throw
to
Because
this
own it to
then
be
you
in
out.
the
could
right
tell me
area?
what to do.
And
Then you
let
could
me
tell
throw
me
this
what to
out.
Let me
do.
water
That's the
something,
only way you
sir.
can tell somebody to tell you what to do is you have to own it. That's the only way
So
somebody
Oh
can tell
my
you to
You
do
god.
can't
something.
tell
so
me what to do in public.
Come
You
on,
have
bro.
I'm
no
gonna ask a
legal
question
right to
then.
tell me what to do in public. None. You
I'm gonna
have
ask a
no
question.
legal, and I have
Okay,
no legal
exactly.
obligation to
Hold on. So let
listen
me
to
ask a
you.
question.
I have
Let me ask
no
a question.
legal obligation to
So
listen to anybody else but authority.
do you men feel the same way about the Chud the Builder situation then? He went
As
out,
far
he
as
was
what?
verbally talking shit to somebody. They physically attacked him, he shot and killed him, so he's innocent, right?
Huh?
Huh?
The Chud the Builder.
No,
It was
I
a
know
white
that whole
it's
situation.
a
Yeah,
white
yeah.
dude
He's
that go
going up to
out spitting
people.
racial slurs,
Got a point.
talking
Hey,
shit.
look, I'm
So
gonna go 10 more minutes and then I'm off
right?
of here.
So it's a guy that goes out to instigate verbally, never physically. Someone physically socked the motherfucker for talking the shit he was talking, and he shot them.
Exactly, yeah. You
So
write
he's
that check,
innocent.
you got to be able to cash it.
So he's
If
innocent
that's
though.
how it happened, he's innocent. Yes.
No, absolutely not.
No, he's
Fuck
not.
no.
Come on. All right.
So if
If
he's
he
not
did
innocent,
not
Y'all
he's
touch
not
moving the
innocent. It's got
anybody,
to be the
goalposts
same.
if
here.
he did
Apples
not
to
touch
apples.
anybody, that person had the ability to walk away from Chud if that's in fact what happened.
Oh yeah,
He didn't. He didn't have to stay
exactly.
there and listen to him. He didn't have to stay
That's
there and
facts.
listen to him. But if he tried to put his hand on Chud because of whatever he was saying, then
Yeah.
Chud had the right to defend himself. But
Even
he
if he
shouldn't have
was the
had
one
a gun
instigating
on
Yeah, but
court
the
Chud
grounds.
situation.
He
started
shouldn't have
it.
had a gun on court grounds. That is true. That's a different. That's a
Yeah, but
different.
Chud initiated it. You can't come up to me and say, "Oh, you fuck boy," blah blah blah, and then when I, you know, what I'm saying, you're
So
initiating
what's the
it.
difference? So what's the
If
difference?
Carmelo
I
didn't
don't touch you,
Carmelo
if
didn't
I don't
initiate
touch
it.
you, if
He didn't
I
He
don't
initiate
did
it.
though.
touch you,
Carmelo
you
was the
have
one that
no
came
right to
over and
touch
was
me.
verbally saying shit.
No,
Not
they
physically,
called him
verbally.
over. Nope. They called. Let's stop lying. They called him over. It's in the transcripts. You need to read that before you
Yes,
start spreading these
that's
lies,
facts.
please.
Okay.
That's
So
facts.
They're
and then while he was over
filing an
there, they
appeal,
asked
right?
him to leave now.
And they
They're
have no
filing an
authority to
appeal
make
for
him leave.
this
Yeah.
case, right? Aren't they filing an appeal?
Not to mention, okay, it's a peer. You're my peer. You're from a different school. Are you
Okay,
serious?
so you wouldn't say that's no type of stubbornness, like at all? So
No, I would tell you. I would tell you
your
go kick
friend called
rocks,
you
and
over.
then
Your
you go
friend
get.
called you over,
Hold on,
right?
you go get a teacher, and that teacher could tell me to leave.
Yeah, I
What is
totally
up
agree
with
with
y'all?
that.
Like,
But what I'm saying, the teacher can't tell you to leave either.
yes, they can. Yes, they can.
Yes, they
They don't
can.
have
Crazy.
authority over that shit.
Yes, they
They
can.
They can
do.
tell
They
you
do.
anything.
Have you never been to a game? Huh?
Yes, and the teacher cannot say, "Hey, you cannot sit here, get up and leave."
Yes, they can. I was just at
Yes,
my son's wrestling game, and then they kicked out some. All right. Y'all moving the goalposts.
You have the option to leave, even though that's an
Everyone had the
authority
option to
figure,
leave.
If you're being
but you don't have
unruly,
to.
they can kick you out,
Then when the
sir.
police come, they will make you leave. That's
Exactly.
the protocol. That's the
With a nice
protocol.
fine. With a nice fine.
Mhm.
Okay,
Call.
so
Right.
and if that's the game you
But
want to play, if you want to play that game, then good luck.
Hey,
It didn't work out for you.
so how
Wow.
so let's go
But anyway, you
past.
know who loses out? The bully loses out. You know why? Because he's in the coffin. Your boy Carmelo, he's gonna do a little bit of time, but he comes home. See? So yeah. So you know what I mean?
But
At
he
the end of the
still,
day,
but you know,
stupid
at the end of the
situation.
day, he
Over
still.
what? Over somebody trying to be a
Mhm.
hall monitor. Come on, really?
no, the sheriff.
So
That's
let's
what
go
should be
with.
talked about here. You know,
Hey,
not to
let's
mention
go.
it's a lopsided thing with the courts because your boy that stepped on his neck. What was his name? Chauvin got less time than Carmelo. Okay, that's
Wow.
the
That's
love you
crazy.
get.
That's
Okay,
crazy. That's
yeah.
Yeah,
crazy.
but the
Hey,
difference
let's
Right.
is
So
talk
you
about
I
what
don't think.
happened after
I
the. Hold
explained to
Do
you
you
on.
my
think he
mother's
meant to
black,
Hey,
my
kill her?
father's black.
let me
I
jump
learned the
in.
word
Let me jump
nigga
in.
from white men calling my mother nigga lover. Okay, I've been through the courts. Okay, with my white baby mothers, I could tell you horror stories. Okay, in
Hmm.
these courts, we do not have equal love.
Hmm.
All right, yeah,
Facts. Hey, but let's talk about what
Big
happened
facts.
after the
I
yeah.
see
stabbing.
motherfuckers get off murder every day, bro, that are colored. So I don't believe none of
But
that
look, hold
shit.
on. He was saying something.
Hold on. All right. We ain't
They
gonna
ain't
let the
murder no
color
white boy.
thing.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
but hold
it's a
on.
different thing when you're
Hey,
talking
can y'all
race.
hear it? He was trying to say something. Go ahead.
Total different ball game,
Hold on.
and
Go ahead.
that's from crime all the way to
Hey, hold on. Somebody was making a statement.
marriages. Okay,
Who was that trying to
yeah,
talk? Go ahead.
we're
That
dealt
was me.
differently in them
That
courts.
was me. That's Ty.
All right,
Hey,
go ahead.
let's talk about what happened after the stabbing. You know, because it was one group saying that he tried to flee the scene, and we all know that that's not right. He ran to a coach, and not only did he run to the coach and tell him what he did, he was
And
crying
see, the
and
defense
actually,
I would have
yeah,
used shit. I pulled
but
the knife out and he lunged at me, and you know that's
but hold on. But he ran to the coach, told the coach what happened, was visibly crying and upset, actually hugged the coach. And the coach, while hugging him, done pushed some other kids back because they done chased him over here. So where did these other kids come from? And they were not part of the initial situation that chased him. You know, they chased him over there when he was talking to the coach. The coach even
Yeah, he killed somebody.
testified that he had to push some kids back. Like, hold on, they were still trying to get at him.
You don't understand why they'll be trying to
As
get
they,
out of
as they did in the beginning.
While the
you.
other dude's laying there
Why did they
bleeding out
chase
dead.
after him? He just killed somebody.
So where did this crowd come? So this wasn't, because the way you make it sound was this was a one-on-one thing with him and Austin. Well,
Bro,
then where did these other?
he just killed somebody. You don't think somebody be, hey, that kid just did this. That's what That's all that
First
was.
of all, hey, who
They were with the
who?
Metcalfs.
Hey, let's be logical here. Let's be logical here. Who trying to run up on somebody that just seen somebody get? He just, in your opinion, he just shanked somebody. Who trying to run up on this kid?
In his opinion,
Them
that's
thug
what happened.
niggas.
He didn't
Yeah,
blast
okay,
nobody.
but
He didn't
yeah,
do nothing.
but I'm saying, and I'm what I said by his opinion is he making it sound more. He making it sound like it was an intentional death. It's not like he hit Austin with the blade and he hit him a couple more times before he dipped.
He
However, the
stabbed him in
stab
the
happened.
heart.
Hey, do you think that like? I mean, do you think that he like, hey, I'm staring right at his chest. As soon as he touched me, I'm hitting him in his chest. It just don't sound. Come on, man. That don't even
No, but
sound right.
he knew as soon as he touched him, he was going to hit him. And I don't think there's
And
any
for
reason to stab someone other than to do some major damage and possible death.
and for
In
for you to
self-defense.
say that it was for you to think it to be in the mindset of it being premeditated, that mean that he came there with the intention to stab somebody to death.
No,
Well, what if
that's why when you asked the question, I said second or third degree because I don't think he showed
okay,
up with the intention of killing anyone. I think in the
okay.
moment though, he's like, all right, if this shit crack off, I'm going out. I'm going out with how I'm going out.
Do you
Because
think that
I'm thinking he thought he was gonna get jumped with that many people around him. I don't think he was just concentrating on the one guy. He knew his brother was there, some other homies was there. So if he's thinking I'm gonna get packed out, I'm taking
all right
something
And
with me.
now look
the
under
brother's
Texas
initial
law,
testimony said that they approached him.
what you just
The
said
brother
under Texas
initial
law is
testimony said that
self-defense.
they approached him.
Yeah,
His initial
with your
testimony said
Mhm.
they approached them.
Yeah, and with his analogy, if he's in fear that he about to get packed out, hey, then now we talking about, hey, did you fear for your life? Did you fear imminent danger? Yes. If I feel that I'm about to get packed out, yes. If I think I'm about to get jumped, yes. So you're
Then why
saying that
didn't
this
you
should have
leave?
been self-defense. By
Th-
just off of what you saying, man, you
Okay, but then
making
the
it sound
question
like it
is,
should have
why
been
didn't you leave
self-defense.
when you had a peaceful way of leaving? Because they didn't threaten to
Why?
do. From what I heard, they didn't
Why?
threaten to do anything to him. They just told him to leave to
Why he
leave to
gotta
leave to
leave,
leave.
yo?
No. Austin told him, hey, I'll beat your ass.
If you don't leave,
Austin said
right?
that.
And from
Who?
the reports, which
Come
I don't know
on,
what's
man.
true and what's not, right? Because it's kids, but from the reports, is he was told up to 15 times.
By
And being
who?
told up to
By
15
who?
times, that sounds like a ample amount of time to go get somebody else involved. If we can sit here and go back and
Which,
forth, leave.
okay, so
How about somebody go get somebody? And for
Good
the
point.
how
coach
about the
to
person? How
text
about the person
for
in danger go get somebody?
how about for the coach to text and this a little bit on your point, for the coach to text Austin in the morning or something, telling him, hey, you need to step up and be a leader.
Hey, you gonna get last
Well,
words
how
in
about
a
don't
minute.
put
Okay,
people in
does being a
danger? How
leader
about that?
hold on. Does being a leader include putting your hands on somebody? That's not acting like a leader. Not in a school event. A leader, you're not acting like a leader putting your hands on somebody.
All right, and let me get some last words. I'm gonna go ahead and end it.
My last words, man, teach these kids nonviolent ways of living. This culture got us fucked up of men thinking that you can just do whatever to anybody with no consequences. It's sad. I think both kids were in the wrong. It's unfortunate one kid died and the other kid's locked up now, but they both had decisions they could have made. They both could have did different things in the moment, and it's just sad all the way around. At the end of the day, two parents have lost their children, bro, and that's all it really come down to.
Facts right there. That's facts. I agree
Okay,
with
this
that.
is James Harlan. Can I close? Or you want to respond?
No, close. We closing out. I'm gonna end it.
Okay. I think that we should teach our kids and we should practice keeping our hands to ourselves. I don't think it's right for us to jeopardize people's lives because we feel like it or we want to exert some kind of authority that we don't have on other people. That's going to always lead to problem. I believe right is right and wrong is wrong. I believe that if you try to hurt me, I have every right to defend myself in any means possible to stop you from hurting me. I'm not saying I should cut your neck off while you on the ground knocked out or anything like that. But I don't think it's fair for anyone to have to lose their life because someone who's aggressive, someone who can harm them, even kill them. For me to defend myself against that kind of opposition, that I should lose my life when I'm being a good citizen and always been a good citizen. I don't think it's
Facts.
fair. I don't think it should happen.
Hey, can I say something on the closeout too? It'll be
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
All right.
You last one. Go
Hey,
ahead.
we all of us as men that's on here with different opinions. Hey, I appreciate everybody's opinion, whether I agree with you or not. We all need to teach our kids, and it sounds so cliche. Teach your kids. Teach your kids. I think that we need to actually role play bully situations with our kids to where it's not just a hey, what did dad say? What did dad say? No, we gonna go through the motions of what it feels like to be hey, now I come up to you, what do? We need to actually practice these things with our kids so when these situations come, our kids not panicking in a, you know what I mean? They're not in a panic. They more, it's just like practicing any sport. You know what to do in these situations. We need to practice these situations with our kids so they know what to do in those situations.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's kind of what I was going to hit on for my close is in the lesson of what people can learn out of this situation, whether people agree with one another, disagree. Everybody has varying opinions on what side they're with, but there's a lesson in what both of these families have lost. A lesson from the person who's been charged, and a lesson from the person who's been dead. And it goes back to the scenario of playing out things. And I think a lot of things have to be played out. A lot of kids don't know what they're faced with. So many things are thrown at them, and at any time, a curveball can occur, and you just have to learn how to respond. Anger and aggression can't always be your quickest response because it can be one that alters your fucking life for the rest of your life. But that's all I got. I'm gonna go ahead and end this one. This is a lot of people are interested, so I think it's a topic where the lessons have to be learned and not to just paint the black and white shit because this could have been two black kids. This is something that occurs every day in our communities. I think scenarios and lessons have to be played out because every day somebody's in one of these courtrooms facing these type of dilemmas and shit, and a lot of them should be avoided. A lot of motherfuckers shouldn't be having to go through these court systems that employ other people to strike down whatever they want to strike down on your life and what you serve and shit. So I think people just have to be better at dealing with their goddamn emotions. That's why I'm big on emotional control. That's why I don't block people. I don't cry over comments in the chat. I don't censor people. I don't do none of that shit. I let people express their emotions because now you can look at shit, evaluate that shit, and we learn from each other. Hey, that ain't a cool emotion. Like you need to check that shit. When we conversate, we let people talk one at a time. Listen to the other person. And that's the thing. The other thing I see when we're conversating, people love to talk over other people. That's just a glaring sign that people don't like to listen to people. People just want to hear themselves and would shut out the other person from having a statement. But that's all I got. Catch you on the next one. We always have different topics. I got a backup channel called Musical Regions. We do Friday shows, conspiracies, and all type of other shit, and we do music over there. So we play live music. So I avoid the strikes. I'm over there because I'm also known for getting channels terminated. So I just create these backup channels. But that's all I got, folks. Thank y'all for coming through.
Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Good job, brother. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We out. Peace. Peace.